Happy Labor Day, peeps. Hope everybody's having a good day. This is Zoo here with Flipping the Switch. We are liquored up. We are live. And I got a very special guest for everybody. So I'm going to let him introduce himself, tell him where he can find him, and then we'll get rocking and rolling here. So you go by the Monster. I won't use your real name, although I think your real name is shared. But if you want to share it, let everybody know. Um, I'm just kind of a privacy goblin when it comes to being a strange internet ghost. So go ahead and let everybody know a little bit about yourself. Then we'll get rocking and rolling here, man.
Hey, I am the Monster. I'm at youtube.com/the Monster Reviews. Real creative. My name's Blake. I mean, you could say Blake. It doesn't matter. That's not gonna trip me up or anything.
Okay.
So you call me Monster. You call me Blake. Whatever you feel comfortable with.
No, sounds
and mostly
perfect.
I just talk about video games. Sometimes we talk about movies, but the movie stuff is a little mixed, and that's it, man. I'm just trying to just do my own thing, like everybody else is. Talk about the video games, talk about this hobby, and hope people like it, man.
Well,
Hope people dig it, bro.
There's a whole lot to talk about anymore in terms of what's going on and stuff. I think people have found a little bit of an appreciation for video games as time has gone on. I know there was a huge appreciation back in the 80s when I first started. Kind of tapered off a little bit. Now it's just surging, and I think it's like the number one most profitable and lucrative entertainment these days, which is crazy considering the budgets. But yeah, for what everybody else, for everybody here, my name is I go by Zoo mainly. It's Mongan Zoo, but been writing since 2012 about video games back on Super NES Hub. And now I host a drunk podcast whenever I find a guest. So, other than that, I think everybody knows who the fuck I am. I hope they do. If not, you about to find out. You're gonna learn today. So, first things first. I guess when I have any guests on, I always kind of like to try to find out where they're. Oh, well, first and foremost, what the fuck you drinking, man?
Okay, I'm probably gonna be called basic for this. I am just drinking a Jack Apple with diet ginger ale, y'all, because I gotta watch my sugars. I'm getting
good.
older.
That sounds pretty good, actually. I was gonna say
I got a
Jack Daniels is. I'm a man. That's after my own heart as far as Jack Daniels goes. I like Jack Daniels. I'm a bourbon guy, but I'll tell you, I will not snub a Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey is that other great American whiskey tradition. Well, there's rye too, I suppose, but
yeah.
But I'm not as yeah. I'm not as.
I think I've had rye once, and I was like, okay, it's cool. It was
yeah, bourbon will always be my first love, and actually that's what I'm drinking tonight is a little bit of Blanton's.
Okay.
But yep, having a little bit of Blanton's, which is kind of my go-to. So we've covered what the fuck we're drinking. What the fuck you been playing lately, man?
Oh man, what am I playing lately? So it's kind of ironic. I was gonna do a video about that, but I don't care. I'm gonna say it anyway. So
sure.
I'm playing right now. I'm playing Star Ocean, the second story R, I believe it's called. It's right behind me, and I can't find the box. Have you heard of that?
I have actually. I have it on Switch.
I love it, dude. I'm having so much fun with it. It's just so it's just what I need right now. I don't know. There's something about it. It's very simple. It's a little button mashy, but then there's also I don't know how to explain this. The story is kind of very basic, and then when you get to a certain point in that game, they kind of pull the rug out from under you, and you're like, dude, what the hell is going on? I did not expect that. It was a couple nights ago. I was like, yo.
You playing as the guy protag or the girl protag? Because they actually have very different path. My understanding is.
Yeah, I'm playing as Claude. The other one is Raina, and it's frustrating, man, because Raina gets really cool party members if you pick her. There's exclusive party members, and I'm like, yo, I want that edgy swordsman guy. That dude kicks ass. I can't get him because I'm playing Claude. Gotcha. Claude is
so they recruit different people.
Yeah, if you roll Claude, it's like a harem. It's like playing Tenchi Muyo or something. Remember that show? It's like
oh fuck yeah, now you're bringing me back because that was Toonami.
Bro, it's every girl wants to slay this dude. It's hilarious. I'm sitting there and I'm just bro, what do we even? all right, like, what are we even doing here? You know what I mean?
A true Giga Chad.
Oh
Oh my
God. Oh,
gosh.
Claude is so.
I'll tell you, man, I,
I
I
love
fucking remember that. Like coming in, you come home, you watch Dragon Ball Z, and then after
it. Yeah,
Dragon
dude.
Ball Z, there's that weird show, those weird shows that are on. That was kind of a
Yeah,
lot of
dude.
people's first introduction to the wider anime universe.
Oh yeah,
So,
the
oh yeah,
dude. Oh man, Animu. I used to call it that, man. That's that's a throwback.
anime.
That's old school anime.
Oh,
That's some old.
yeah, it's I get accused of that all the time, being old school internet. I take it with a badge of honor. I love the anonymity of the old net. I love all of that shit.
Yeah.
I love how rowdy it could get at times. Although I do like that people tend to keep it more respectable now. But I do like how rowdy it would get. Um, and we were
Oh
anonymous,
yeah.
so we would fucking unload on each other, man. That was the shit. But
I mean,
I don't know. I
yeah.
feel like we're kind of at the Alamo now, man. I feel like everybody wants a fucking wants a phone number, which is entirely like I don't know. I just feel like the internet is largely the anonymity of the internet's just gonna go away. I feel like, and I get it. There's a lot of people who are fucking cunts on here, but man, it sure sucks because I like being that random ghost, you know.
Dude, it's I mean, you probably have heard it like 20 times. It's Space Ghost. I mean, that's what they used to
Space
do back in.
Ghost.
Bro, on the Adult Swim show, they would have like writers and people dressing up as him, and they would get celebrities in, and nobody would know who the hell he is. And then you would just get like I think it was George Lowe. You'd get George Lowe to do all the lines that the guy was saying in real life. So it was brilliant. It was like I don't know if they always changed the
That's
person that played Space. Brilliant.
that's a that is a blast from the past. Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking Space Ghost, Cartoon Planet, all that shit. Fucking
yeah,
great, man.
I'm a big animation guy. I've talked about it a couple times on my channel, but
Okay.
I'm an old animation head, so I'm a failed like visual arts major. So I was trying to be an animator. So like anything like old school, like I grew up in the 90s, so
Right.
like anything like old school, and then I was raised on like old stuff, dude, like Hanna-Barbera. Like people say Disney. I'm like, no, Hanna-Barbera was like I loved Hanna-Barbera, then Disney, and then all that other crap.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'll throw
no,
reference.
yeah. Some of that stuff is classic, man.
Hell yeah, dude. But I'm sorry. We should be talking about video games, right?
We talk whatever. We'll basically talk whatever we want to talk about. But yeah, that's
Cool. Hell yeah.
definitely
I love
yeah, definitely one. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I feel like our hobby kind of intersects with others. So I think animation is one of those places where our hobby
it.
intersects. So it's not to say all gamers are fans of animation and anime, but if you're a gamer, you're probably also a fan of those things. Like, I just feel
So
like those things kind of track.
it's funny you said that. So I was on YouTube the other day and I got recommended a video that just got released, and it
Hmm.
was 1991, the first San Diego Comic Con.
Oh
And so I'm
shit!
watching this video, right? So I'm watching this video. It's like 1,000 people, bro. It's like nobody. And they're like, everybody's here. Comic books, cartoons, toys. And I'm like, yeah, like it literally all connected. And then years later, I'm assuming video games obviously showed up to the door.
Right?
So it's all pop culture and nerdum and all that crap. It's everything. It's all connected, man.
Yeah, it's kind of like the nerdoverse or the whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it, but it's definitely
Nerdverse.
definitely all interconnected. And like again, it's mind blowing to me because I remember being so back in the '80s, back when you had gaming PCs and back when it was like NES, like gaming there was two segments of gaming. There were kids, which thankfully I was, and then there were like computer programmers basically,
Yeah.
who also gamed as a hobby. And
Mm.
like basically, you had to have basically rudimentary knowledge of programming a computer to enjoy those PC games at the time. Like I'll never
It's
forget
crazy.
when Ultima came out. We had our PC, and I'll never forget that every Ultima that would come out, you would basically have to rebuild and respec your PC for. So like, and keep in mind, this is back before there were rebuildable PCs. So you just were getting a new PC. When Ultima 7 dropped, you got the PC, and I still have my Origin systems like black box for Ultima 7, the Black Gate, and it would come with like boot discs and this giant fucking manual and cloth maps and like that was just the way it was done, and like every Ultima would literally change how Windows did their sound. Like literally, they would change how they did their sound output and stuff. Like that was just the era we were in, and then you had the consoles that were kind of the simpler plug into a TV and play games. And now it seems like as we've advanced, now it seems like consoles are basically just a dumbed down PC hooked up to a TV. Like you still have you have all the stuff that you deal with PC gaming, except you don't have like the ability to mod and things of that nature. So it's that's kind of what drew me to Nintendo primarily. Is Nintendo at least they're kind of the last arcade roots company that actually has a presence in the console market, whereas I think Microsoft and Sony basically come at this from a PC gaming perspective, it seems like. And again, I love PC gaming. I'm pretty old school in that. But I feel like consoles have kind of lost their I feel like they've lost their edge in terms of what their differentiation, what their factor is.
Yeah, there's too much that you can do now, man. Like, I mean, I don't know anything about what's going on pricing with like a PC now. Sometimes I hear it's high, sometimes I hear it's low. I hear I'll hear all kinds of stuff. You could always buy a pre-built. That's what I did years ago. But like, I mean, you could do right. You could. It's true. You could get on a PC. You could do whatever you're gonna do. I'm not gonna, whatever. You could go on Steam. You could, like I said, you could do whatever you want. And it's true. There's always like a debate over like the importance of exclusives and that type of stuff, and just I don't know, man. I don't know. It's such an open like thing, I feel like that stuff is I feel like it's a double-edged sword. Does that make any sense to you? Like exclusives, like that kind of stuff brings you to the dance and you're excited about it, and it gives the brand an identity and it gives the fans like, but then it also kind of like hurts everything else because you're like, well, damn, I wish I could just play this here or there or whatever, and that kind of stuff. And then you're right. Like obviously a console is never going to compete with a high-end PC. I'd be an idiot to tell you otherwise. But I don't know. I have a weird story. Like I bought a pre-built in like 2017, so my computer is old now. Okay, I love the damn thing. It's great. It's gotten me to where it's gotten me, and I knew what I'm an idiot when it comes to PCs. I try my best. Right. But now I've made like a full circle because at one point I was working on computers nonstop. I was getting kind of sick of it, to be honest with you. Mm-hmm. So now I became a console boy again. Like I don't know what the hell happened. Maybe I'm just getting old. I don't know what happened. I just all of a sudden went back to consoles. So I don't know, man. Everybody's got a different path. There's always going to be somebody who's for the PC, or there's always going to be someone. I don't know. It's tough, man. I'm not trying to make up excuses or anything. It's just, I don't know. It's just the way it is, I guess.
I think they do two very different things, and I think it draws different people depending on that. So, kind of give you my kind of path forward. Like, I started with NES, Super NES, got the 64, but didn't really play much of it outside of some of the first-person shooters. At that point, kind of hopped back over to PC gaming for a while. That's where I fell in love with like Ultima 7 and games like that.
By the way, we gotta talk MMOs. Keep that in your brain. We're gonna talk MMOs because you brought up Ultima.
Yeah, Ultima is Ultima.
Sorry, because I'm gonna
Ultima is literally one of those like cornerstone genres. Like you literally if you like RPGs, even JRPGs, thank Ultima. So thank Richard Gary on it. You can find him on Twitter. So you can even thank him in person. And you should. You fucking should, guys.
I don't know. They haven't done like an Ultima something. They haven't. Is there a way they can do a collection of that? I don't know enough about it, to be honest.
I wish they would, but here's the problem: is so after Ultima 7, my understanding is that EA bought Origin Systems. And I don't need to say any more than that, do I?
Hi guys, pack it up.
So
it's over, boys.
Yep.
That's
it. The dragon seized the Ultima Gold, and Dead Space. Oh, Dead Space makes me so mad. EA makes me so fucking mad with Dead Space
Oh,
because it's so
don't
mismanaged.
even. Hold on. Don't even get me started.
Is that Isaac?
Yeah, it is. I love.
So, so
Don't even get me started.
how in the fuck did we not? Did somebody at EA not say, "Hey, we got a brand new version of Dead Space coming out. Why don't we take the OG version and throw it on the Switch?" How did that not happen, dude? Like, I know I sound like a fucking broken record on this, but EA just baffles me with this shit. Like, they just baffle me, and I kind of get it. To answer my own question, EA fucking hates Nintendo. But
I have a really tinfoil hat theory.
Sure,
and it has nothing to do with what you might think it is.
Lay it on me, man.
The PC port of Dead Space is very buggy. I know because I bought the box copy of it, and they had to patch it, and fans did some tinkering.
The new one or the old one?
Yeah, no, I'm listening. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
No, but the new one or the old one? Which one was
the old one? Are we talking? We're talking the old one, correct?
Okay. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, so we're talking. So the old one, the PC one. I don't want to give misinformation here. To my knowledge, the original PC version had some issues with it. I know that they probably fixed it or something, but maybe they were gonna do another console port of it. I don't know, man. And I agree with you. I don't. How haven't we gotten that? I don't understand that. That doesn't.
There's so many games that EA fucking controls that they just do this with. That is completely mismanaged. I just played Mass Effect Trilogy for the first time.
Okay.
And now there's another example of how are these games, even if individually, how are these not on the Switch? How have you not gotten that free bag? It's a free fucking bag of money, guys. I know you like money. You're EA. I know you like money.
I know you like it. And all of a sudden, I don't know if you saw it, they're like, hey, we got My Sims now, guys. We're still here. And it's like, no, bro, you weren't here the whole effing time because you were too busy doing the other bullshit. They always do this. Well, they did the same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
They did it with the freaking Wii U. They're doing it again. So what happens if we finally if the Switch 2 or whatever they're calling this thing comes out, okay, and it's incredible. Let's say it's incredible. Let's just shoot it to the moon.
It's so good that even I buy one. Yeah.
Are they going to ignore it? But I don't understand. I'm not understanding. What is what's the issue here? Just do it. Make the money. Make people happy. I don't get it.
There's a variety of answers. None of which are acceptable. But so answer number one is the history between EA, and honestly, it's the history between the third party Western cartel and Nintendo, and that bad blood maybe makes them make bad decisions. So there's one possibility. I don't know. Yeah. I can't read the EA board of directors' minds. I'm glad I can't because they seem to be really, really fucking stupid at times. The possibility number two is that and this is the track OJ likes to take because OJ tends to be more diplomatic than I am. He says, "Hey, Wii U didn't work out for them, so they were gun shy going into the Switch. All of their games are required to be on Frostbite engine. Therefore, because of that, Frostbite engine doesn't work well on the Switch. So therefore, we can't really commit to any Switch games." That's track number two. Yeah, I don't. Yeah. But
what?
Yep, that's
Pause.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the guy who said that Chrono Trigger hasn't been re-released or something, right? He was just talking about that.
On consoles,
and then in February, Square Enix was like, well, we're trying to figure out the right traction to bring Chrono Trigger back. It's like, dude, they literally just gave you, they're literally like, yo, we're thinking about it. Because the let me pull it out. Where the hell is it?
Right.
There it is. Because this thing did so well. So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to be rude. He's probably a great dude. I'm just like,
yeah, he's cool.
I don't know. That's the guy, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. Well, sorry, OJ, yeah, and try to be fair to OJ, he's talking about the fact you gotta understand that Square's been dicking us around for decades on Chrono Trigger. Square
That's
is
true.
Square are the people who now. What I would tell OJ is they're not the same company anymore. But
No.
the company, I remember back when Chrono Trigger DS showed up, and they literally told us, if you want more Chrono Trigger, buy Chrono Trigger on DS. And it's just like, motherfuckers, we're the ones that bought Chrono Trigger on Super Nintendo. So we want this game. Just because you put out a DS port, like literally, people want Chrono Trigger. I don't understand this
Yep.
at all. But again, that was 10 years ago, and we have entirely new leadership. That era of Square where they ruined fucking Parasite Eve, where they fucking ran Kingdom Hearts into the ground with all the endless side story games, never given 3 out. I watched that. Final Fantasy 13, that fucking debacle. That Square is gone. Thank God.
Yeah, I don't know, man. How do I put this? Okay, I just feel like. Actually, I'm getting off tangent. I'm gonna let you talk. I'm getting angry at something I'm saying. I don't know.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Yeah,
Flickered up live, right?
No, because I made my point. I'm all done. I'm all.
I just feel like, listen, like, okay, you had Chrono Trigger on the DS. Let's just keep it real, okay? Let's keep it 150%, okay? Yep. Nobody gave a shit about it when it came out. Yeah, let's just keep it real.
I'm glad you remember that. It literally ended up in the bargain bin.
I got it for free.
Holy I got it for free.
I'll prove it. Hold on. Stay right there. Well, you're not going anywhere. What's this? What is that?
That is a $100 copy of Chrono Trigger.
No, I'm not going to eat it. I love this game.
It's great. One of the best.
Okay, I got this game for free on an old school Amazon deal before they started becoming a bunch of jerks, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, yeah.
Got it for free. Nobody cared about it. Okay, fair. It's now like regarded. It's like it might be the best release of the game, and then the one on the PC I know was like undergoing. It literally was like a Frankenstein. It came out like a mobile thing, and they patched it. It's okay. It's good now. But like here's the thing. I think now it feels like they're gonna do it because that Super Mario RPG shit was in limbo, bro. Like you can't tell me they weren't thinking about it. And just my again tinfoil hat. The guys that developed that game are Art Piazza. These are the guys that do the Dragon Quest games on the DS and the 3DS. Like, you gonna tell me they're not thinking about this? Like, I don't know, man.
They gotta be,
I just feel like, I'm sorry. I feel like this is it. This is gonna be it now. And everybody, like, I'm in my 30s, so I'll be like, yeah. And like everybody's older is gonna be like, I feel like this is gonna be the moment now where we get it. I really believe it at this point. Again, tinfoil hat.
I hope so. I sure hope so, because that's the kind of good kind
sorry,
of.
Sorry, OJ, if I'm a jerk to you. I apologize. Blame it on the alcohol. I'm sorry.
No, OJ's cool. OJ's cool with Spirited Debate. If you ever seen our liquor up,
watch these videos. He's very good. We love you. I'm sorry.
Well, not only that, but I mean, he loves Spirited Debate, man. He'd love you. Basically, if you've ever seen our liquored up lives, we go at it sometimes. It's fine.
Like, I feel like this is it now. What nobody called that, man. Nobody was like, yeah, Mario. Like I saw one.
Nobody called that.
And then I played it, and I was just like, this is so good. Like the cutscene. You want to talk about the nerdy stuff? The cutscenes are in 60 frames, like on the Switch. They're beautiful.
Now explain that. Now explain that to the non-animation literate. Explain why that's such a big deal to everybody. Because part of what we do here is we educate.
It's 2024. Games that run at 60 FPS operate better. They're good. They're better for your eyes. They feel better, and it's just a better game. It's better for you. Yep. I at least think so. Some games, don't get me wrong, some of my favorite games of all time, a lot of my favorite games of all time are 30 FPS, and it works for them, and maybe they were designed that way or whatever. I don't know. But now I just feel like this is the thing that I get harp on with Nintendo, and I get into a lot of fights with people about it. It's like, I don't give a damn what the game looks like. I just want the game to run good. Let the game run good. Like, and then some people are like, well, there's games on the Switch that run at 60. I'm like, really? How many of them are there, though? Like, truthfully, how many of them are? Come on, Hades. I know Hades does. Hades, fantastic.
Hades is godlike. Oh my gosh,
chef's kiss, bro. But like, Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's I don't know.
100%. So here's kind of where I fall on that. I've in terms of the 60 frames versus 30 frames percent debate. First of all, let me just say there's not a debate on this. Okay, there's not. 60 frames per second is better. Anybody who says 60 frames per second isn't better has never experienced 60 frames per second gaming. That said,
Yeah.
so I don't like that. I don't like this idea that like the console people like to pretend like there's not a difference. There is a marked difference in that. There absolutely is. But
100%.
I think most games are fine at 30 FPS.
Yeah.
As long as it's stable. And there's where we get into issues with some things. So, for example, one of the things I mentioned, and wasn't the most popular take, is that this new Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, I'm excited for it. I'm actually more excited for it than I am for Tears of the Kingdom. Literally.
Yeah.
But it seems like an actual real Zelda game, like Breath of the Wild, which is cool. Whereas Tears of the Kingdom went into very strange territory to me for a Zelda game. But it's Grezzo doing it, and it's on that same engine that Link's Awakening remake was on.
Oh.
And anybody who's played that fucking game, they know that game has some frame rate issues, especially when you go from scene to scene. It absolutely does. So I hope they've fixed that, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's when it does that old school Game Boy flip.
Where
it goes, and then you go, oh.
And it chugs. It chugs every time.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. I love, dude, like I say this too much in my videos. I'm not the biggest Zelda man on the planet.
Right.
But I love Link's Awakening. I was a Game Boy kid. Loved it. Loved Link's Awakening. Dude, pick that remake up. I agree. Absolutely loved it. Loved it. Good. Like now that this looks like, I guess it's the same engine. I guess, I don't know. It looks amazing. I was like, yes. So I completely agree with you.
Oh, 1,000%. It's a great. It's good, and,
you know what
and I like the idea of going in that direction for some. And again, now that we know that there's going to be like a sword unlock, like this seems to be a action.
Is it?
She's got a sword. She's got a fucking sword. Now, here's what's interesting about it: she can only use it sometimes. She can only use it. It's like a power up basically, where she can use it, but she does have a sword form that she can use once she builds up enough energy. Really fucking cool.
I think it's cool, man. I don't know what took them so long. I don't understand that.
Well,
to do a Zelda game.
Well, as a Zelda guy, I can explain that. Let me do the chat real quick. We'll kind of catch up real quick.
Oh yeah, please. See, I could yap with you too, bro.
Oh no, but we're definitely. I love it, man. And so I'm definitely as a Zelda guy, we'll kind of go over the history of what happened with this fucking series because it's fascinating. But so we got Brooke Barnes. Hello, everyone. So Brooke Barnes drawing first blood in the chat. What's going on, Brooke? Thanks for coming in on a busy Labor Day. I appreciate you. Inferno Fox Gaming also here. What's going on, Inferno Fox? What's going on, buddy? Hope you're doing well, man. Brooke then says, I used to pretend I could go Super Saiyan when I was a kid. We all did, Brooke. I promise you. That is 100%. Like, you got the playground. Like, yeah.
Wait, I got you.
And then Brooke also says, at Inferno Fox, where have you been? Have not seen you in streams for a while. I'm sure. I think Inferno Fox has been around, but yeah, folks are busy. Like, it's okay. Whether he has or hasn't been, but always good to have you, Inferno. Always good to have you. So Zelda, fucking Zelda. So I came in at the dawn of Zelda, man. I was there for Zelda and Zelda 2. Okay, I actually am old enough to remember that I'm actually old enough to remember when the fact that Zelda 2 was not a series black sheep. I remember it was a cartridge shortage back then. And since this is the history, a lot of people don't know. 1988, cartridge shortage. That means that there were literally very few copies of games like Mario Brothers 2. That means there were fewer copies of games like Zelda 2 because they came out around that cartridge shortage. And that also means, by the way, that a lot of your early NES games weren't able to get a reprint because of the cartridge shortage until the tail end of the system's lifespan. So what does this mean for people who can't, aren't capable of putting that together? What that means is that the Zelda sales, Mario Brothers sales, Metroid sales, Kirby sales, they were repressed. They actually were less than they could have been. There was so much actually repressing NES sales. So I try to talk to people about. So when I tell people, for example, that Zelda's 7 million copies is actually more like 12 or 14 million copies if you adjust for all the macroeconomic conditions nowadays. So people are like, well, your narrative's wrong, Zoo, because OG Zelda was outsold by Ocarina of Time and was outsold by... No, it actually wasn't. Because direct comparisons across time are fucking useless. What do I teach you guys? What do I tell you guys? Direct comparisons across time are useless. You have to adjust for population increase. You have to adjust for closed markets. The entire Chinese market and the Eastern European market were closed behind an iron curtain at the time. Nintendo literally did almost no trade with these countries. So there was that. Europe, the European market was almost entirely closed to Nintendo. By choice, not by embargo at that point. There was a gaming crash in 1983. So Nintendo literally built their brand from scratch. So it's always harder to go from zero customers. It's harder to go from zero customers to 60 million customers like the NES did than it is to go from 60 million customers to 50 million customers, which is what the SNES did. Actually decreased. It's always harder because there was no console video game market at that point. Not in America. None. Zero. So all of these are factors that actually deflated, that suppressed the sales of games like Zelda, of games like Metroid. So that's what I always tell people. The fact that OG Metroid, when adjusted for macroeconomics, is still the best-selling game in the series does not bode well for Metroid. It doesn't. Metroid Dread to me is the best game in the series, but it didn't sell. Still can't top OG Metroid when you factor macroeconomics in. Sad.
And I mean, I know Metroid is predominantly bigger in the West, and that's another. It's I remember like when I was a kid growing up, like you would look at like any of these gaming magazines or any of these articles about Nintendo. Metroid was like a top. What 3 franchise for them? Top 5? Like it was right. It was right there, right? Like
in the NES days, it was considered big. Yeah, it hasn't been since. Super Metroid was a giant decline.
Okay.
Giant decline. Metroid Prime popped back up to relevancy. Still didn't surpass OG Metroid when adjusted for macroeconomics. So there's only really been 2 real spikes: Metroid Prime on the GameCube, OG Metroid. Those are really the only 2 spikes in the series.
Do you think that this is going to be do you think that 4 is going to be the moment where they finally get it to like where they want it, or do you think it's just like, okay, the hardcore is like you're getting your game, you Metroid fans are finally getting your game, it's going to be badass, probably not going to hit what we want? Yeah, it's going to be badass. I'm getting it.
The game's going to be great, but the short answer is no. No, it's going to sell. It'll sell 3 million if it's lucky. 3 million if it's lucky.
Yeah.
And again, but keep in mind, and this is what I tell people. So Metroid has never sold as much as Zelda or Mario, but Metroid does a very specific and still a very important job. I'm a firm believer that video games do jobs, especially when you're talking about console exclusives. You have different console exclusives that do different jobs. Metroid honestly shouldn't be that super best-selling game. Number 1, Metroid should be fucking hard. It's part of my critique of Super Metroid is I can play it in my fucking sleep. Dread, I can't play it in my sleep. Dread beats the fuck out of me. It beats the shit out of me. Dread is hard.
Prime was hard.
And Metroid should be difficult. Metroid should be that Metroid should have things like the wall jumps and the different strategies, speed running, and Metroid should be that hardcore gamer Nintendo game. It should.
It hits like that young, I don't know, young older teens, older audience. Like there's like a neat a niche for it.
Basically,
I completely agree.
yeah, when
Yeah.
Nintendo gets hit with the kitty accusation, you can kindly point them to Metroid. That's the job of Metroid, is to be there. So it's not supposed to be fucking Pac-Man. Like everybody knows Pac-Man's going to be up front. If you ever walk into an arcade, fucking there's Pac-Man. And Pac-Man is popular. It's going to be one of those popular arcade cabinets. But in that smoke-filled corner in the back of the arcade, there's the Defender 2 cabinet. And that's where all your hardcore people are like over there fucking. That's Metroid is the Defender 2. It's the Defender of the arcade. That's what it does for Nintendo.
I listen. This is not a mature game. I'm just trying to make like a comparison here.
Yeah.
But I'm wearing a Pikmin shirt. I mean, Pikmin ain't gonna be the number one thing that they ever put out. I understand that. But I like what it's doing. It's kind of hitting this like strategy thing for the audience, and it's a pet It's weird. It's quirky. Like it's got its audience. Like I love the franchise.
I have a fun.
I've always.
I have a fun trajectory with the Pikmin franchise. So when it first came out, I think on the GameCube, and so it was one of those games that I just looked at with a third side eye, basically being like, oh god, more fucking GameCube weirdness. Like, what is this? Who the fuck is going to buy this? What is this shit? And so I just passed, didn't even care because I didn't even have a GameCube. Whatever. Maybe my sister. Yeah, maybe my sister has one. What's going on?
I'm a huge GameCube guy. We can talk.
Oh, you're the guy. Okay, Monster, you get to be the guy. I've been waiting to talk to a GameCube person. We're gonna have a blast tonight.
I put a 500 sub special out a couple weeks back, and it was my entire GameCube collection. I talked about over 40 games. So
I will definitely have to watch that. Yeah, you're definitely the guy then. Okay, so
it's a long video. It's long. I'm just putting it out there. It's fairly long.
Yeah, that's okay. For the chat, we finally have now again, we've had GameCube people that are fans on before. But to have an actual GameCube guy on, I've been waiting on this. I know GameCube Galaxy, we were talking with him to come on.
GameCube Galaxy.
But I think you're perfect. So that's awesome. Oh yeah, because it's a known thing. It's a joke. It's like a fucking meme at this point that Zoo hates the GameCube. And what I will say is partially false. Partially false. I don't hate the GameCube. What it is. Oh, and here come the GameCube Defense Force has been summoned. Here we go.
I want to read the chat.
So Upper Nimbus says GameCube is where it's at. So, all right, guys. I don't hate the GameCube. In fact, I can't even critique the GameCube as much as I used to.
Here's where I look at it. I'm not trying to hijack your show, I promise.
No, by all means, you're the reason we're here.
The GameCube is kind of like this quirky, weird little engine that could, okay?
It sure is. Engine that couldn't, but okay.
Listen, man, Simpsons Hit and Run. Have you played it on the GameCube?
I have not.
It's better on the GameCube than the PS2 one. There's some stuff that people say is better, but the best version, in my opinion, is the GameCube.
I'm gonna rock your world now. So yeah, people that accuse me of hating the GameCube, keep in mind I never had a DVD player either. I did not have the DVD player. The PlayStation 2 did not have it.
Wow.
That's a wow. That's a big wow for a lot of people.
But listen, what I like about the GameCube, see now. I was raised like when the GameCube came out, everybody around me had the GameCube. Okay. I was not aware that the GameCube was not like a success. Like in my little world, it was like, oh, GameCube rocks. Like we're all playing. GameCube was the most social console I ever had. Okay. I had people over. We were playing Mario Kart, Double Dash, Super Smash Brothers, Melee. There's probably a million other things I'm thinking about. I'm forgetting right now.
Melee was good. I played Melee. Melee was good.
Yeah, like we had a lot of stuff. But what I really love about that console is it has such a unique library of games. It's got such a weird like setup. I don't know, man.
You're using that word weird. Exactly. That was both its strength.
I'm a visual, like I told you, I'm a failed visual arts major.
Right.
I look at things like video games are art. I just feel like the GameCube is art, man. There's something like. And I don't even think those games suck or anything. Like I don't know, man. I think people that trash the GameCube I don't know, man. I don't want to like take a shot here. I'm just
No, take a
pull
shot.
back a little bit.
Absolutely.
I just think that there's worse consoles out there. I mean, I'm sorry.
Oh
I
my
just
God,
do.
well, you're right. There absolutely is worse consoles.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, let's not get dramatic and say the GameCube is one of the worst consoles of all time. So,
No,
and again, my take with
I've had people say that to me, and I'm like, bro,
that's garbage.
I'm like, are you kidding me?
That's
yeah. I'm like,
garbage.
I'm like, are you out of your mind? I'm like, are you kidding? No, just stop.
No, that's trash. GameCube
That's
is
a bad
certainly
opinion.
not. Yeah, I mean, any console that has
Yeah.
Resident Evil 4 on it is not the worst console of all time.
Yeah, dude, give me.
It's just not.
We just said it. Metroid Prime is on there. Star Wars. What is it?
Metroid Prime.
Rogue Leader. I gotta look at my collection.
The ones I have that I've played so far are, and I'll give Pikmin 4 to the GameCube sort of because it started on the GameCube. I played Pikmin 4, which I love. I adore Pikmin 4.
Right here, baby. Have you ever played this?
What is that?
Star Fox Assault. You need to play this. They need to re-release this.
Yeah, Star Fox Assault is the actual Star Fox game, not the weirdo game.
This is the game. This is the freaking game right here, bro. Remastered this, put it out online.
Please.
Let's go.
That's
what I want. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So, yeah, people have extolled the virtues of the GameCube to me. So my whole thing was, you got to look at it from my perspective, in terms of when I came in. So the N64 was already starting to be kind of alien to me. Nintendo was forcing everything into 3D. Now, to be fair, so did Sony. That was just the zeitgeist of the times was everything. Everything has to go into 3D. Everything.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
absolutely
so here I am waiting for my fucking 2D Mario game. Here I am waiting for my classical Zelda game. Here I am waiting for, and at this point, I'm just like, okay, Nintendo really doesn't give a shit to give me what I want, and that's cool. I'm gonna go fuck off back to PC gaming for a little bit. Till the Wii, exactly. So I'm gonna go fuck off for a little bit, and hopefully, and so then they announced the GameCube, and I look at and there's this thing called Space World that came out. Called Space World.
Yeah.
Space World. Yeah, showing off Dinosaur Planet. Showing off that badass fucking Legend of Zelda fucking fight with Ganon demo, right? Like here's what the GameCube can do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, color me intrigued. Dinosaur Planet looks fucking based. Zelda, you know where this is going. So here comes the GameCube. Here comes the GameCube, okay? And it comes out with Luigi's Mansion, which is fine. I was like, hey, that's cool. Luigi has a gameplay identity finally, separate from his brother. That's cool. And then comes Window Washer Mario. And then comes Zelda Wind Wanker and it's fucking weird Enuma Zelda weirdness. Here comes now Dinosaur Planet is gone. It's just gone. And this is fucking weird Star Fox game, like where you're running around with a staff doing puzzles all day. Yeah, that fucking game. Here's Mario Kart. It's like this weird tag team shit going on. Here's a Kirby game. I know. That's what I've been told. I'm just telling you from when I first looked at the GameCube. Oh, here's a Kirby game that's not even a Kirby game. It's not a platformer. It's just it's a racing game. It's just a racing game.
You know what's funny? I'm a huge Kirby fan. Kirby is like probably my first big intro to video games.
We're gonna talk Kirby for sure.
I was never like the biggest. I actually didn't buy that game. I didn't like Air Ride that much. That's the one Kirby game. It didn't, and it's on the game. It's the one that didn't like connect with me. Yeah. I don't know why.
Yeah, here's a Donkey Kong game, and here's some fucking bongos. Like, but I mean, do you understand where I'm coming from with this? From a classical Nintendo fan?
Yeah, a little. But like,
I'm looking at this and I'm like, what the fuck is all this? And what does this have to do with these franchises that I grew to love? Why are you doing a ghastly Buffalo Bill reskinning of all of my favorite franchises? Why are you doing this, Nintendo?
Dude, you got F-Zero GX. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I hear F-Zero.
Come on, man.
Rush Dog sings that game's praises. He loves
Bro,
that game.
if he could feel free to correct me. I'm probably wrong about this.
Sure.
I think this is a 60 FPS game, or it's high.
I'm pretty
I think
sure GameCube had a lot of 60 FPS games. So
I think this game, yeah, that's true. I think this supported like some format, like HD stuff. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty certain it did.
um,
I don't know, man.
OJ likes
I
to
get
make that point. OJ says that in terms of like response, like controller response, and it's one of the best feeling systems to play ever, is what OJ says.
Let me give you a great example why the GameCube kicks ass.
Sure.
Okay. So what's the biggest thing right now? What's what all the streamers and the people on the internet love? I'm not interested in them personally. The Souls games. So you have FromSoft back in their infancy or whatever they were. Maybe they were just a small team, and they put out Lost Kingdoms, which is this weird ass card game.
Oh my gosh,
okay,
that's FromSoft.
Yeah, dude,
Okay. Lost Kingdoms. Give me 1 second. I want to look that up real quick because
look, I'm not even lying to you. FromSoft.
I see it. Yeah. Lost Kingdoms is a card-based action role-playing game.
Brother, this game. Let me just put this out here, okay? Love this game. This game whooped my ass. Okay, the beginning of the game, you're like, oh, I'm steamrolling, whatever. Got my deck.
Right.
Second half of the game, they're like, you're gonna need a second pair of shorts, bro. Like it's over, dude. You get stomped out in this game.
Oh my gosh, that's the first time I've ever heard of that game.
There's a sequel. The sequel's even rarer, but the sequel is not as good. Apparently, they want like I don't know what they want. I think I saw it. I saw it at the expo a couple weeks ago, the Long Island Retro Expo. I think they wanted like $160, $200 for it or something crazy.
Yeah, it's going for anywhere from $119 to $175 on eBay.
There you go. So there you go. So and then, dude, here's another one. You know this one. Hello, Billy Hatcher, the game that Sega should have did more with. I mean,
okay.
I don't know, bro.
Well, and here's what I will tell all of my GameCube audience. So that was my perception at the time. Now, keep in mind that there is probably at that point a lot of bitterness there because I'm pretty mad at Nintendo. Animal Crossing. My sister. Now, fun fact: we had a GameCube in the house. That's the fun fact. But it was my sister's. So
wait. I'm sorry, I'm flexing.
No, that's amazing. Because I remember that game getting my attention actually because she used to play the GameCube all the time with Animal Crossing. And the thing that got my fucking attention is there were whole ass NES games contained in that particular Animal Crossing.
Yes.
That got my attention.
Dude, that is like you look at something like that and you're like, Nintendo would never do that ever again. Like ever. Like they did that and they did what was it? Those little weird the scanny card things for the GBA. Was it the GBA? Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And you get like balloon fight or something with I can't remember, man. I never got them.
That was before before Nintendo realized what they had, honestly.
Oh God, dude, that was
I make that point like when I tell people all the time, if you can pick up NES games on and there's several available physically. You have to go through like Cowabunga Collection, Contra Collection. Get as many of those NES games as you can because it's the last time you're going to see some of them physically. Yep.
I'm winning my game. Every game you say, I pull them out. Sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
Love it.
But yeah, so basically what I'm saying is that was my perspective at the time. And my perspective is still, and it's correct. You can all scream all you want in the chat. It's correct. It didn't sell well. So I will continue.
Sure.
It did not sell well. But I am open to saying it's okay to be wrong. And I am open to saying I might have been wrong on the GameCube.
I could show you more things that didn't that came on another console. Yeah, I don't want to bore you. But
no, you're not bored, not at all. But I'm just saying, I've already played Metroid Prime. I've started the 1,000-Year Door. That's incredible.
Came out another console later, but this was a banger on the GameCube when it came out. Absolute banger game. Godzilla Destroy All Monsters Melee.
Nice. I'm sure Pikmin is going to be good. I love Pikmin 4. Adore Pikmin 4. I'm told Pikmin has unique because it has like a timer on it, which is kind of cool.
This first Pikmin, man, I'm gonna be real. Like I'm very open about this. Like I'm not an expert with. I just love the series. This game is tough, man. It's a hard game. Like I say, Pikmin 1, even Pikmin 2 is pretty challenging. I mean, again, I don't know. I'm not an expert. I played them all, but I haven't been able to. Honestly, I haven't been able to beat this. Like I can't beat it. I suck at it.
Right.
Sorry, but I love it.
It's still good though.
Yeah, dude. Like I can't. I'm not coming in like, oh, I'm some like Pikmin aficionado. Like screw that. But
well, I'm definitely not that. But
no, I beat Pikmin 3 and I beat Pikmin 4. I 100%ed Pikmin 4.
I loved Pikmin 4. Pikmin 4 was actually my game of the year last year. And again, and keep in mind, I played Baldur's Gate 3. I still thought Pikmin 4 offered more fun.
Bro,
I love that game.
I put out. Am I allowed to? Can I talk about video content I made, or is that like not? Is that like taboo?
No? That's part of why you're here. No. I want you to tell people.
I put out this video. What was it? My top 10 must play games on the Switch.
I saw that one. I saw that one. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I said, okay, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna take a swing. I'm gonna feed the algorithm today. I'm gonna let the Nintendo fans hear my thoughts. If they don't like it, that's okay.
Hey man, listicles rule the day. And by the way, I'm a sucker for listicles. You put out a list video, I'll fucking I watch every list video. I swear to God. Like they're just great content while you work.
I'm not a Nintendo centric YouTuber, but obviously yes, Nintendo, Sony is like the stuff I'm rolling with. So, anyways. Pikmin 4 is in my top 3, and everybody was like, wow, like, I can't believe you went with that. And I'm like, dude, it is a phenomenal game. Like, I know I sound crazy, but, like, play that.
It's the best game I played in 2023. And 2023 was stacked. It's that or Street Fighter 6. It's one of those two.
Great game. One person was like, well, you know what it is? Pikmin 4 is too easy. I'm like, dude, this franchise has been around since what, like 2002 or something, and they've had ups and downs, and they've always had a hard barrier to entry. And now we finally get a game that nails everything. It's a little easy here. It's still challenging here. There's things that constantly unlock in the game. I'm like, they finally found the balance, and you're still saying there's still a problem with that. Like, God, it drives me nuts a little, to be honest with you. I don't know, bro.
Some people like I don't know what you would cry. I mean, difficulty. If that's what you're going to cry about, difficulty wasn't there in 3. Is my understanding.
The difficulty of 3 is the micromanagement of 3. Yeah. Actually, because you had to play as all 3 of those characters. If you didn't, chances are the other one would get killed. And then the other problem, that wasn't a problem. The other issue to my knowledge with 3 was, there was definitely like a boss battle or two that was pretty challenging. Like the last one is like a giant patience test or something. I think it's like you fight like a gold monster thing. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really remember, but like I just remember going like, oh my God, like this is like, can we hurry this up a little bit? And then you get killed, like, you get like destroyed. So I don't know, man. I just feel like you can't win sometimes with something. It's just how it is. But
if you're holding out for universal popularity, I think video game companies understand this.
I love Pikmin. That's all I'm going to get
at. 100%. Now you mentioned you're not a Nintendo centric channel. I'm supposed to be, but that's kind of a joke. People are like, flipping the not switch. There's like kind of the joke because it's like, hey, it's flipping. It's that guy that has a Switch in his channel name but plays PC games all day. Like it's kind of the joke.
When I started my channel, oh my God. When I started my channel when I was much younger, and most of the reviews that I did on the channel were 3DS reviews. And the biggest criticism that I got was like, wow, dude, all you ever do is talk about Nintendo games. Why aren't you going to talk about PlayStation or Xbox or this and that? And the reality was I was a kid making nothing. I was living off. I had to, pay my rent or whatever it was. I had to pay my stuff. And a Nintendo 3DS, what was it? $40 a game, $30 a game. Hello, no brainer. I'm buying 3DS games, and they were all bangers, by the way. So I'm reviewing 3DS games, and at the time, I definitely reviewed some PS3 stuff. Like there was definitely some stuff I did. But I mean, dude, like, I've never been like a Nintendo centric channel because for me personally, I'm such a weirdo. Like, I don't want to be hard locked into something.
Sure.
I like being everywhere. I'm like a jack of all trades with games, in my opinion, at least. I want to talk about everything because
right.
I'm also the like you talked about did you talked about arcades or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I grew up playing in arcades.
Yep.
I was probably one of the last generations to do that.
Street
I
Fighter
grew up
2,
on
right?
fighting.
Street Fighter 2.
Yes, like fighting games. No,
Street Fighter
dude,
2.
I see people that are like, "Oh, anybody born at this point like never experienced them." Like, no,
Not true.
that's all we did. Every weekend I went and played arcade.
Aladdin's Castle had a vibrant right here in town. Vibrant fucking arcade scene in the 90s. Vibrant.
Bro, when Marvel vs. Capcom 2 came out, when Capcom vs. SNK 2, another sequel, came out, forget it. Some of these guys don't. I sound like an old man now. Some of these guys do not understand how incredible these games were. And yeah, I was a kid. I was on my tippy toes playing the games. But God, man, they were banger games, bro. I mean, I played it all. Power Stone, Die Hard, all that stuff. I played them all.
By the way,
and then,
what do you think of Power Stone coming back?
Oh my God.
We need a physical, which I'm sure we'll get one. We got a physical of the last one. Physical, please. Physical, please. I'm psyched for fucking Power Stone and Power Stone 2. Fucking psyched.
Hold on. Yeah.
Yeah. Let me take a look here real quick. A Capcom Fighting Collection 2.
So here's the thing that's interesting. They're definitely getting a physical. So the first Capcom, I feel like we're doing a review. The first Capcom Fighting Collection came out on the PS4. I believe they're going to do the same thing for the second one because it's probably just easier for them to just do a PS4. You know, here it is. It's on every. You can play it. So
and also people have a PS4. That helps.
Yeah.
People have a PS. Yeah, all the PS4s aren't in the hands of scalpers who don't buy software.
Sorry, I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah, like in the Switch, and I think it's coming everything except the Xbox, which is
that's par for the course. Xbox has already basically told everybody they don't give a fuck about physical. They don't care. So why would the game companies care? But bro, this release is going to be insane. So dude, Capcom versus this is all with netcode rollback, by the way, too. So Capcom versus SNK. Capcom versus SNK 2. Capcom Fighting Evolution. Street Fighter Alpha 3 Upper. Power Stone. Power Stone 2. Project Justice.
Oh man.
One of the best fighters I ever fucking played, actually.
Never played it. I never played it. So
Plasma Sword, which I've not even heard of. Nightmare of Bilstein. Check
Plasma Sword. Plasma Sword is the sequel to Star Gladiator. And Star Gladiator was based off of Star Wars. So it's basically a Capcom Star Wars fighting game.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's like a futuristic, like Hayato. You ever play, Marvel vs. Capcom? That's Hayato. So I'm excited because I've never played that. Don't know anything about it. Except that.
I'm checking out what the HG 101 boys say. Which if you've never been to Hardcore Gaming 101, check it out. They're amazing. A lot of the reviews I do are partially inspired by HG 101 and kind of their format. They're really cool. It got buried under a bunch of other better Capcom fighters at the time. While it isn't really worse than the original game, it sure isn't better. It just feels like it was quickly thrown together, especially compared to other fighters at the time, basically. So they're like, yeah, it's good.
I watched like some YouTubers talk about it. Like obviously, like I love watching like Max and all those kinds of guys talk about it. And I heard that all of them are on the Naomi engine except for like Project Justice or something. I don't know which one it is.
Project Justice is great.
So it's very interesting because a lot of them are like Dreamcast or arcade ports. So I don't know, man. I am just like, what? I mean, I don't even have the words. Like, what do you do now? Like, and I know it's going to be a banger because that collection was a banger. Like
that release, I mean, that release stole the show for me. Like
they're release. I'm not kidding, bro. Like when they said Power Stone, because I was watching it and I out loud was like Power Stone, and
No,
then they
that's what
said it.
everybody was like. I'm freaking out about Project Justice, but a lot of people are freaking out about Power Stone. Power Stone's
I
fucking
literally
awesome.
got choked up. I literally was like, I literally felt like a tear form. I was like,
Oh shit!
is this
Okay.
really? Because I have been wanting a Power Stone reboot, or not? Okay, like a reboot since like the Wii. I was like, this would be great on the Wii, and or the Wii U. Like I just wanted it on like a Nintendo. I feel like it felt perfect on a Nintendo console. Because I remember the creator was like talking about it for a while or something. Itsuno, I think his name is.
Mm-hmm.
So he's leaving now, which I that's a whole nother story. So I don't know, man. I can't believe it. We need I need to see how this thing runs. I'm excited for that. And I need after this when they could get back whatever they're gonna do next. I'm praying for like I'm able to do a PlayStation set of games, or like I'm able to do like Rival Schools, Street Fighter X, EX, all that
Yeah.
stuff. I don't.
I'll tell you what I'm hoping for now is I'm hoping we get a beat 'em up bundle round 2 now, because there's still some
Yes,
amazing Capcom beat 'em up games. That's
I
still
have. I picked this up a couple at that at that expo a couple years ago. This is the Japanese because they never
Belt
did an
Action.
English
That's the one
release.
I have. Yeah, Belt Action Collection. Yep.
Love it, bro. Love this collection. And you know
So
what's
good.
funny? I
It's
met
so good.
found someone online. We played I think Knights of the Round or something together. But love
Dude,
it. Love
Knights of
that
the
game.
Round was one of my absolute favorite. The King of Dragons and Knights of the Round were two of my favorite SNES games. Actually, both of those were like peak beat 'em ups on the SNES.
Maybe you can answer this for me.
Sure.
I saw a copy of. I don't know enough about it. I saw a copy of Final Fight Guy. Is that just a separate game with Guy in it?
It's a version of Final Fight that has Guy, and
Okay, because
it's been a long time. I think Guy is in there instead of another character, not in addition to another character. I think is how that works.
that would be an interesting one because that was pretty up there in price too, and I was like, that would be if I was them. That's
The the Final Fight sequels on Super Nintendo go for stupid money now, as does a lot of the Super Nintendo library. To be honest with you, I am so glad I finished a majority of my Super Nintendo collecting back in 2011, 2012. That got real stupid real quick. I mean, real stupid.
yeah, I don't even mess with it.
I got some wild shit on the SNES though. I actually have a original copy of R2 Rendering Ranger, which is wild. I've got Hagane, I've got original Wild Guns. Like, oh yeah.
Oh, Wild Gun.
I got
Okay.
Hagane. Hagane was a fucking Blockbuster exclusive release. It only showed up in Blockbusters for rent back in the Super Nintendo days. I have a copy of that.
I gotta look that up.
I've got a copy of like fucking what is it? R Type 3, the Third Lightning. Like, yeah, some
Oh, okay. Yeah,
stupid.
R-Type's cool. R-Type is cool. I
R
do
Type's
know
very
what that
cool.
is. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. I love all that stuff. But yeah, I didn't know what Hagen. I almost said Hagen. Oh my god.
Hagen Dazs. Hagen Dazs, the final conflict.
It's just a guy with ice cream scoopers.
Hey, there
Oh
was
my
actually,
god, dude.
and I've got some weirdo games for the Super Nintendo too. I got a game called Captain Novelin, and basically this was a diabetic superhero, and he would like
Oh my
stomp on
god.
donuts and milkshakes and shit. Like, yeah,
Oh my
literally.
god.
So there was that one. There was some really Packy and Marlon, which is an educational game. You got Super Noah's Ark 3D,
I
which
know what
is
that is. Yeah.
which is like
Yeah.
Noah, like yeah, with his like weird sexual grunts as he like fucking gets attacked by animals and oh, that game's so bad. It's one of
Like
those hack fuck games that was not even
I feel
licensed.
like early YouTube had like a field day with that game. I feel like that's one of those ones that like all of like the AVGN guys were like those kinds of people were making fun of games like
That
that.
game was fucking bizarre. By far, though,
Like
the worst game, the absolute worst game on the Super Nintendo, and I stand by this. I don't know. There's a couple of nominees, but it's not even close. It's Pit Fighter. It's the Super Nintendo Pit Fighter release.
did you ever play? I have it. I got to get the name of it. I think it's called Paws of Fury. It's like a Kung Fu Animals game.
Yeah,
I got it for like That game sucks so hard.
There was a lot of bad fighters in that era. Because keep in mind, Street Fighter 2 had just come out. And just like with Mario, just like whenever there's a game that just fucking takes off, you're going to have all the games that are like, oh, yeah, we can do that. And so, yeah, you get games like that, fucking Shaq Fu, fucking Pit Fighter, which my understanding is Pit Fighter was good in arcades, and it was fucking dog shit on the, you got like, but yeah, you got games like Bebe's Kids, you got Wayne's World.
We had Bobby's World. We had Baby's Home Alone is like notoriously annoying.
Home Alone
to play.
is a terrible game. Trying to think of other big Race Driven. Yeah, Race Driving or Race Driven or yeah, it was the Race Driven actually has a course that literally isn't even finished. It goes up and it ends and you just crash. That was on the Super Nintendo. Yeah, Race Driven, Wayne's World, fucking Wayne's World. Oh my god, not every time you get hit, you hear not. Yeah, every time, every time you got hit, not.
Oh my god, what was the other? I could be wrong. Was it Bill and Ted? There was another one that was bad too.
Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz was bad. Revolution X was bad.
Dude, is that the one? Wait. Is that the one with Aerosmith?
Yeah, no, that Rap Jam Volume 2. There was no volume. Rap Jam Volume 1, was bad. It was a basketball game. It was fucking terrible.
Dude, there's so many bad games on the Super Nintendo.
No, that's what I'm saying. People forget. People lionize the Super Nintendo. It's like, motherfuckers, I was there from the beginning. I have so many games for the Super Nintendo. There was bad shit. Fucking Ominous, where you literally fucking starve to death before you even get out of the goddamn tower. You're just wandering around hungry and you fucking die. By the way, friend of the channel, Red Mage. Well-Read Mage, actually, to my knowledge, is the only human being to ever finish Ominous, and he did it on a bet for me. I said, hey, I'll tell you what, if you can finish Ominous on a live stream, I'll send you something nice. It ended up being like a Kirby plushie with warming. And he did this. Wow. This motherfucker did it. This fucker sat down and miserably played through Ominous. He's like, done. And he did it. And hats off to Red for that, because there's no fucking way. There ain't no way.
Oh my god, dude, that's so it's wild, man. I love the Super Nintendo. I don't know. I have a weird relationship with the Super Nintendo, man. I had it, then my mom threw it out.
Oh no! What? Okay, yeah, and then you gotta. If you're okay with sharing story time on that, I gotta hear this.
I don't know what the hell happened. We used to play. We played Home Alone, Super Mario World. I don't know, man. We didn't have a lot of games. We were poor growing up, and we just managed to get that thing. And then I don't know what happened. I think she just got sick and tired of us playing it all the time. She threw it out, and I was like, "What the hell?" And then years later, we ended up getting one through Funko Land. God, I miss Funko Land. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, we were talking about that the other night. Yeah, Funko Land. Yeah.
Yeah. I was in your chat. And I'm like, bro, if we could just, oh my god, Funko Land was a dream. Funko Land was a dream, brother. It was a dream, man. It was like you just walking through the meadows of video games. It was amazing, bro. But yeah, I still have that Super Nintendo that I got, and then I ended up getting some games like Mega Man X and stuff like that. Which so glad I still have
Mega Man X. I'm still mad at Capcom for Mega Man X. That's gonna break my heart to do that review of the Mega Man. Capcom Mega Man X Legacy Collection. That's going to break my fucking heart. There's some input lag on Mega Man X. It's only on Mega Man X. It's not on 2, and it's not on 3, and it's not on 4. Mega Man X1 has some fucking input lag, and it breaks my heart. It's one of the greatest games of all time. And it's like, man.
Yeah, I remember I have it. I remember hearing that. And there is something going on. But it's not, I don't know, man. Maybe it's the power of nostalgia. I almost tuned it out. I know what you mean, though. It's such a good game.
It's noticeable for sure. But yeah, Mega Man X is.
I would say, I think it's it's weird. I don't know if you agree with this or not. Call me out if you think I'm wrong here.
Sure.
I always think Mega Man X And it's like always Mega Man X, X4, and like X5 are like the ones everybody always talks about. Those are like regarded as like the best ones.
I like
They
X2.
never talk. But
I like X2 a lot.
I never hear. Maybe I'm wrong because I never hear anybody talk about X2 is cool. X3 is fine. Like I never hear anybody talk about it.
X3 is fine, and that's a great way to put it. Actually, X3 is fine. It's fine.
X4 is like, damn son, I got X4.
X2 was a perfect sequel. It was perfect.
I have X4. Ready for this? I have X4 on the PC.
Oh, okay.
I got a physical copy of it for like $5 at some cheap store that opened up near my dad's back in like the early 2000s or something. And I got it brand new for like nothing.
Nice.
So I have a copy of Mega Man. I have a copy of it on my PlayStation 1, and I have a copy of it on PC. It's the weirdest. It's such a weird like novelty thing. I don't know. It was hard to play on the PC too. You're like, oh, come on.
Yeah, keyboard and mouse is that game was meant for a pad, man, for sure.
Yeah, dude. None of my pads work. They were all like the knockoff.
This is back in the day where your game was either a console game or a PC game, and never the twain shall meet, or at least they shouldn't. Ultima 6, Ultima 7 on the Super Nintendo. Ugh. By the way, one of the few games, real quick, one of the few games where the sound quality on the Super Nintendo is worse than the PC.
Which one? I can't hear you.
Oh, it's can you hear me?
Yo, say again.
Oh, okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Ultima games are one of the few games on Super Nintendo that the sound is worse than the PC, because again the PC literally optimized for that sound, and then on the Super Nintendo it just you'd listen to it, it's like, nah, it doesn't sound quite right. For sure. So yeah, you had a story for me, Ultima Online. I guess you were going to tell me about.
No, I've heard about Ultima. I was going to tell you that I was an old school World of Warcraft guy.
Oh wow, yeah, okay. So
But let me real quick. I'll say this real fast, and I'll shut up. I was playing WoW. I played WoW from vanilla, like the original WoW. I played the second year it was out, 2005.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually I'll talk about all this stuff because WoW has got the big anniversary coming up, and wow. I did EverQuest 2. I tried EverQuest 1, but I liked EverQuest 2. I played a bunch of MMOs, man, but Ultima was one that I always heard about that stuff, but I didn't know. To be honest, I didn't really know anybody who played it, so I didn't know much about it. That's why when you said Ultima, I was like, that's interesting, because Ultima was like the original thing, right? Like before all of this stuff, to my knowledge, unless it was EverQuest.
No. Ultima was like the trailblazer in a lot of ways.
Right.
In terms of RPGs in general, it was Wizardry and it was Ultima. In terms of like
Wizardry,
yeah, those are the
okay.
two. Yeah, those are the two founding fathers, basically.
Yeah, they gotta. I don't know, man, how you do that. I'm gonna sound like an idiot because I don't know any of this stuff. Is there ways that they could do like offline versions of that? Is that possible?
So I'm not sure. I don't think Ultima Online is still running. Although check it out, there might be some private servers somewhere that still run.
Right.
That's still
run. That's kind of what I was.
What I will tell you is it's probably not worth doing it, because my understanding is the genre has evolved massively since then.
Yeah, dude, it's
massively.
It's so crazy now, man. Like, you want to talk about sounding like boomers. Like, you got to hear like me and my friends who played WoW all these years talking about it now. It's just, I mean, WoW is just a completely different thing. It's just a different game, and then they had to do classic versions of all the games, and even those are kind of tweaked. And it's this, It's weird, man. MMOs, when they were like popping off, just nothing like it. There was no. To this day, I've never experienced anything like it.
It's the social aspect. It was the return of the arcade, basically, but only through the power of the internet.
And it was beautiful, man, because like we all ran shitty computers. So everything just crashed. Servers were crashing.
Well, that was the genius of World of Warcraft. Is it was made to play on a potato.
Yes. Yes, dude. Yep. You know it. You know it, dude. The toaster oven.
That was, and keep in mind, I never played World of Warcraft. Never. That's
Yeah.
one experience I never got to have. Because
Dude.
I was
Oh,
lost in some other shit. Like at that time, yeah, Rush Dog mentions it here. Actually, let me get chat caught up, and then that'll segue right into what we're doing here.
I told you
So
we can. Yeah.
yeah, so GameCube games are straight fire. So Upper Nimbus continuing to evangelize the GameCube.
Oh yeah.
Then Rush Dog Evening Everyone, and then Plasma Sword kind of sucks. Yeah, the hardcore gaming 101 boys seem to agree on that a little bit.
I'll
They're
try.
like
Yeah.
yeah, it's okay. Which, by the way, that's damning for a Capcom arcade fighter. That's damning to say, yeah, it's all right.
Yeah, but it's not Fighting Evolution. Fighting Evolution is trash. So
Fighting Evolution is the bad one, huh?
it's garbage. It's
Okay.
straight garbage.
Straight garbage.
No,
straight garbage. So Upper
Yeah.
Nimbus says, hey, what's up, Rush? Rush says, hey, Nimbus. So Brooke Barnes says Full Metal Brotherhood is a really good anime. Sorry, Alchemist, she says. Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, that is one that I need to put on my list. I've been meaning to check out at least the first 3 episodes and get into it, but I haven't had an opportunity.
I watched it.
Let's see. Got Roland Lighthouse. Welcome in. He says I raided during Wrath of the Lich King. High level stuff like a job.
Yeah, that's my boy. Whoever that is.
Yeah. And then Rush Dog says Genesis had some great PC ports back in the day, like Starflight, Star Control, and Pirates Gold. Yeah, Starflight and Star Control on the Genesis. I have those, and they're actually pretty good. And Pirates Gold is also, shout out to Pirates Gold. Pirates Gold was fabulous.
Is that Sid Meier?
Yep.
Sid Meier.
Yep. That's the pirate game where that it's so good. Like literally,
those are phenomenal. Those are phenomenal games. No, those are straight up like fire games.
Yeah. So one of my and Rush Dog mentions that because one of my favorite PC games of all time is Star Control 2, and you can actually get that for free. So again, I'm going to plug this game. I always do. You can actually get that for free, and you can get that for free. It's a game called the Urquan Masters, and it's on Steam now. But it's known as the Urquan Masters, and the reason being is Toys for Bob, which was the original creator of Star Control 2. It was Toys for Bob back when it was 2 guys in their basement, literally, that made Star Control 2. Got bought out by, at the time it was EA. And EA still has the rights to Star Control 2. They still have the rights to that name. But they don't, but because of some strange deal they had with Toys for Bob, they don't have the rights to any of the universe, the races, the storyline. And so they put the game out under the name the Urquan Masters, and they did it for free because fuck EA, and they literally said that. I love that. They're like, hey, you know what? EA fucked us, so we're going to go ahead and fuck them right back. Here it is. It's out for free, guys. Here's the source code. You can download all of it. Have fun. And so it's on Steam now, too. It's called the Urquan Masters. One of the greatest games of all time. One of the greatest space games of all time. And now
I'm going to look at that.
And now I played Mass Effect Trilogy. And now I'm like, you done good, guys. You done good. I still don't know if it's quite up to Star Control 2, but the fact that I even have to think about it is a victory, considering the crater that left on my psyche in terms of like.
That's gonna be on my list. I got it from I got it through PS Plus, but I might just get a copy of it one day cheap. But I do want to.
I bought the entire trilogy for $8 on Steam. It's like one of the. I think it's the first digital only purchase I've ever made because I'm a physical only.
I don't want to give Sony any more money for online. I'm just like done with it. So I might just do that.
So let's talk about Sony. You were a professed Nintendo and Sony guy. How do you feel about Sony lately? How are we feeling?
Bro, it's I mean, I was told years ago that I was the weirdo for having this opinion. And now everybody's saying my opinion, which is that all of the stuff that led Sony to the dance, all the funny, weird, quirky titles, all the weird stuff that they did that worked, It's most of it's gone now. And don't worry, I know about Astrobot. I'm not an idiot. I want to pick up Astrobot 100%. But I'm just saying, like, and then they focused on these big AAA movie like film.
Yeah,
I don't know what
Juice Man Vaughn from Player Essence's community. Juice Man Vaughn refers to those as them popcorn ass games.
Yeah, you know what it is, man, and this is the truth. They're not bad games. They're not. I'm not here. I bought them. I played The Last of Us 1 and 2. I played the new Horizon. I played the new God of War. I played all that stuff. But yeah, at the end of the day, I was like, okay, I don't know if it's gonna be. Last of Us kind of stuck with me a little, but like a lot of that stuff didn't stay with me, you know. And then I looked at something like Astrobot that's coming out like this week, and I'm like, let's effing go, bro! Like this is what you need right now. Like you need a shot of this, whatever this is. You need it. You need.
Yeah. I don't personally underestimate Naughty Dog. You mentioned Last of Us. I don't underestimate them anymore because I've actually had like two of my worst like takes that you look back and it's like that didn't age well. Two of my worst takes actually involve Naughty Dog. The first is Uncharted, when I famously told somebody, if I want to watch Indiana Jones, except he's more of a dick, I'll just watch Indiana Jones. And then the other take I had, which was The Last of Us, which people are because I was debating somebody about story. This is back in like 2011, 2012. I was debating somebody.
Thor?
Huh?
You were debating who? Thor?
Well, no, somebody. I was debating somebody. I forget who. It's been like over a decade. But somebody. Yeah, somebody was that I was debating and talking about how he's like, well, people will gladly trade story-based games in because I'm like, well, if somebody trades a game in, the game wasn't that good to begin with. That's like, yeah, but what about a game like The Last of Us, which people will gladly trade in when they're done? And I'm like, well, then The Last of Us wasn't that good then. I'm like, if somebody's willing to just fucking trade the game in, then the game wasn't that fucking good. And
yeah.
And those are bad takes. Those are, I will own, those were bad takes. Those games are, The Last of Us is still one of my dad's favorite games of all time. The Last of Us Part 1, one of his favorite games of all time. My dad's.
They just nailed it. Like everything about that game, you know, they nailed it.
And the Uncharted trilogy is fucking fabulous cinematic game. Fabulous cinematic trilogy.
So that's one. This is gonna blow your mind. Never played any of them.
Yeah, they're good. They're good. The first one's a little rough. I
always hear 2. Is 2 the best one?
I like 2 and 3 about equally, but I can see the argument for 2. 2, I think, had better set pieces than 3.
Dude, I'm weird. Like I zig and zag. Like I'm a Tomb Raider. I'm a Tomb Raider guy. So I bought all the new Tomb Raiders.
Yep.
Like it's just how it is.
Are we ever going to get another Tomb Raider game? You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I think they're going to kind of. I think they're going to. I don't even think it's going to be like a reboot. I just think they're going to kind of go a little more towards the classical kind of stuff again. If that makes classic stuff again.
Well, I know we got the Tomb Raider trilogy, which I'm going to buy when that comes out. Because I never got to play Tomb Raider, and I hear they still hold up pretty well. They're pretty good games still.
They're pretty tricky. I don't have a lot of memories because I played them a lot with my cousin. My cousin was like, I was there. You know what I mean? I was in the room. We were just talking and playing. Mm-hmm. But dude, those games are cool as hell, dude. Like I really want to go through those as
well. 100%.
Great games.
All right, so Caesar Arcade dropping in. Hey, Caesar, what's going on? Dropping in to wish you all well. And then
dude?
Caesar says, bring back Gravity Rush, Ape Escape, Medieval. Did they bring back Medieval? I thought they remastered Medieval or something.
Hold on, I got you, bro. What the hell is
okay. Yeah, I thought that Parappa the Rappa needs to come back, 100%.
Day one. Let me tell you something, okay? Let me tell you something. You want to play a great remake?
Medieval?
Medieval is my favorite PlayStation franchise. You want to talk about a game that deserves more love? It's this.
Medieval. Okay.
Other Ocean Man knocked it out of the freaking park with this game.
Okay.
They should have been allowed. The sequel has a ton of bugs, tons of poor camera angles, and they never got to remake it. And it drives me insane, bro. It triggers me. Sorry.
Well, hopefully that one did well enough, and then we can get. I would love to. Yeah, that's cool. Parappa the Rappa needs to come back. Parappa the Rappa absolutely needs to come back. As soon as Sony shut down their Japanese game studio, I knew the writing was on the wall. Yeah. No, that I said the same thing, Caesar. When I saw that, I'm like, okay, well, I mean, Sony
weird?
Santa Monica's fine, but they can't do it all. Like,
you know what's weird? You know what's weird? So in the new Astrobot game, you have to save PlayStation characters in Astrobot form, and you unlock costumes.
okay,
So the big hook for pre-ordering Astrobot was that they're going to give you a Parappa the Rapper costume. And I'm like, this is really cool. I love this. But I'm also like, are we really at the point where we can't get another Parappa the Rapper game? Like it's I don't know, man. It's
seems
just
to
so
be
weird to me.
like,
I don't get it. Did it do that bad? I don't know. It's just I don't know what they're looking at profit wise. Like what do they want to hit?
well, you know what's
Making
so
sure my
funny about classical Sony, like PS1 era Sony, with a few exceptions, the Nintendo Switch is about as close as you can get to like a literal library of the PS1's greatest grades. Like
it's crazy.
we're missing R-Type Delta. What else are we fucking missing that could Siphon Filter? I don't think Sony makes that, so Siphon Filter we need.
I don't know. Siphon Filter's made by the guys that did Days Gone. So I think
so that they might be owned by Sony. Okay, gotcha.
By the way, Days Gone is an incredible game. If you want to play a real sleeper game, incredible game.
Well,
the ending goes on a little.
Days Gone is like one of those games where the critics and the audience had completely different views on things. It's one of those. It's one of those cross points where they just did that. There was a party to the ways there that the likes of which you rarely see. Like it was wild.
It got me through some. I was having like a tough time, so I played it, and it got me through some. It was just a wonderful game. But I'll be real. Like, yeah, they could have probably taken like 10 hours off that game, probably. But dude, there's so much to do. It's so damn good. Like, I don't know, the main character is cool. Like, he's not what you think he's gonna be. I just really dug it, man. The freakers, I think they were called. Forgot what they were called. They were really cool. I think you would just dig it, man. You should check it out.
Okay,
Cool game.
And what system is that on?
It was PS4, but play it on if you have it on. Oh wait, no, it's also on PC. You can play it on PC.
Okay, okay. That will be
what
I had then, for sure.
When it came to the PS4, the whole gimmick was that you were fighting hordes of these creatures. So they put like, I'm probably exaggerating here. They put like 50 plus monsters on the screen. And
it's like a Dead Rising type thing, yeah.
Yes. So they lagged the game up. So on the 5, it runs fine, but the PC version, yeah, forget it. And there goes my phone.
Yeah, my PC is stronger than PS5. It'll be fine.
I 100% recommend it to you. I think it's a wonderful game. And again, it's nothing's perfect. You're gonna catch some story stuff and go, yeah, whatever, dude. But like, it's just a badass game.
But I don't generally play games for stories. So if the story grabs me, that's just an added bonus.
Dude, his name is Deacon St. John. I mean, they make a joke about it in the game. Like, that's a cool thing.
Yeah.
Deacon St. John, bro. What a name.
Yeah, unless you're a visual novel or something like that, like you don't necessarily have to have the world's greatest story. Here's the thing. I'm also a reader. That's the thing. Okay. I'm also a reader. I've read Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. I've read The Count of Monte Cristo. I've read Moby Dick. It's going to be very, very hard to impress me with a story. Very hard to impress me with a story. I can only literally on like one hand, I can think of game stories that have impressed me. One of them is The Last of Us. Like Rush Dog says here, the fact that The Last of Us could be adapted into a successful HBO show with minimal changes speaks volumes about the quality of the story. 100%.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Mass Effect, another one. Mass Effect is another one that's just like, wow. Most video games, I feel like their strength isn't in theatric story. Most video games, I feel like their strength is in world building a world and letting you be the actor on the stage. So again, I think most video games are strongest when they let you be the actor on the stage instead of you being the audience. I think that's where. So don't think television and movies with video games. I would say think stagecraft, and you're the actor. And so they build this beautiful stage in the sandbox for you to play in, and you tell your story on that stage, right?
Yeah.
So
Dude, yeah, I hear you, man. I think it was funny how like a lot of people when that came out were like, "This is never gonna work. I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, it's not like this crazy complex story, The Last of Us. You know, at the heart
no,
of it,
it's
it's
very
just about
simple.
it's very straightforward. Yeah, there's big things going on in concept, but like it's not like this crazy story, you know? So I
No,
don't
it's
know,
it's
man.
it's a
I
story about fatherhood, like it basically,
right. Yes.
like
And like,
at the
that
heart of
relationship.
it. Hmm.
Right. So I don't know, man. And there's things you can nitpick because you can only do so much in an X amount of episodes and budget and whatever. But holy crap, did they nail? I mean, I was hooked every week, man. I was like, this is phenomenal, bro. I was
How
like,
do you
everything about it was
how do you feel about part two? Because I haven't played part two yet, but I hear differing things on part two, and some of it is I feel like is really really weird and petty, and some of it I
I
feel
don't
like are good points.
I don't know if my buddy's in the chat, but I've talked to him about it. I bought it when it came out. I played through it. It's a very dark game. It's very, very brooding. Like especially when it came out, it was around like COVID, so you had that vibe going on, and it was just very dark. I Here's the deal. I enjoyed the game. I think that it's. I mean, I'm gonna say it. I think it's one of the best looking games on the PS4.
Okay,
I think it's an incredible game. It plays better. It's great. But yes, like of course, what everybody else is saying about what happens at the beginning, it could have been a lot better in that regard. The story, that part was really, really, really sloppy. Like I know what he was trying to do, but to me, he half-assed it.
right.
Like that was the part where
And
he
I,
screwed
I
that up.
actually I actually think that's a great because it's been spoiled for me. I haven't played it, but I know what happened. The whole everybody knows what happened.
I won't spoil it if they want to play it. I'm not gonna
Right.
shut my
What
mouth.
I
But
will say, in a no spoilers way to say it, is I feel like one of the major characters that they introduced and has a huge impact on that story. I feel like I feel like The Last of Us Part Two should have been The Last of Us Part Three. I guess is what I'm getting at. If you're going to introduce if you're going to introduce a character like that, then you need to make me like that character instead of being like, oh, we're just going to throw you into this character that you fucking hate now.
you know,
Right?
it's weird, man. I don't know if I have a controversial take on this or not, and
Sure.
and if anybody disagrees, this is perfectly fine. I didn't like. Again, I'm not going to spoil the game. I didn't like what they did with Ellie. I didn't like the direction they took with her character
Very
because to
strange.
me it felt like they took a step back with her. And then the other character that they introduced, I won't spoil it. I know people are mixed on her. I actually liked her a lot. I thought her side was more interesting and fun. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. And I don't disagree. I just think I think we're talking about the same character, aren't we? And
Yeah, and you. So
yeah,
you're saying
I
okay?
think we needed a whole game with that character to get to
Maybe
know
you're right.
that character and get
It,
to know
dude,
what
it's a
makes that character tick, to care about that character, and then
yeah,
you throw the character from The Last of Us Part 2, and then
yeah.
and Joel and Ellie, and you throw
Do
them
you
and you throw them at each other in Part 3
do
and
you
just let
do
the
you
chips fall just like they did.
do you think that they freaked out? Do you think that they were like, "What if we just did Ellie?" And people are like, "Yo, she's so angry in this game. She's so this," and like people are gonna hate this. That they were like, "We have to do the other character." Like, do you? Because that could be something too. No, it's a long game.
Yeah, but I get her anger considering there's a
Yeah,
lot of basically she was deprived of a lot of closure for a few things, and so I
yeah,
think that's where her anger comes from. Whether or not
yeah.
that was the right place to take that game, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Yeah,
I feel like without getting more time with the character we're talking about, I feel
right.
like everybody, and so what basically happened, my understanding is I haven't played it, but you can tell me correct or incorrect. My understanding is that
Okay.
you play all the way through The Last of Us with these two characters that you grow to absolutely love and adore. And then you get to part 2 and you spend about half of the game playing as this character that they have literally set you up to fucking hate with no idea of her of their motivations until later. None.
Yeah,
And that seems like a bad way to tell a story to me.
Yeah, it's weird. They do a lot of cliffhanger stuff in that. I can see where you're coming from. It's just weird, man. Because like I said, and you're probably right. I had a lot of fun playing as that character too. Because I don't know what happened. It's almost like they made her side feel like a horror game or something. Or like a survive? Does that make any sense? Like it felt like some like.
Yeah, my understanding is that it's a good character, but just not enough time to get to know this character.
There's some, yeah. Well, then they introduce another. Oh man, this game just had too much shit in it. It's like you talk about it now, you're like, because they introduce like a whole nother group of people. But so yeah, you have these two factions, and then they introduce another faction, and then it's like, man, dude, there's just so much stuff being thrown at the player. Maybe it was too much, because I was kind of questioning that too by the end of the game. I'm like, this is going kind of long. And dude, like I said, there's some
feels
parts
like
on the
it
other
should have been 3 games, from what I hear.
Yeah, dude, the other part of like that second character, it's like, dude, there's like, I don't want to spoil it. There's just something so cool that happens to her in that part, and you're just like, oh, like this is so cool. Like this is what I liked about the first game, but then they like amplified it. We can't even talk about it. You get the idea. It's weird, man.
No, I get it. Totally get it. Let me get caught up on chat, and I'm going to take a quick bathroom break because my teeth are starting to float because of all the liquor. And then we will go from there. And let's see. So we got Rush Dog saying, hey, Caesar, wishing you well, too. Other Ocean is a great Canadian developer, so they're Canadian. That's cool. Cool.
There you go. Shout out.
And then Jay Sickler says, Last of Us Part 2, such a letdown. Thumbs down. So.
I know. That's my buddy.
Oh, wait, what's going on, man? Welcome in. Appreciate you coming in. I'll be right back. Sing him a song while I'm gone or something. I'll be fast.
I gotta get a drink too, so we're gonna do a swap.
Perfect. Sounds good. I'll be right back, buddy.
All right. I'm gonna see if I can read this chat. So hopefully I won't ruin the call or anything. I'm gonna try to get in here and see if I can read it. Oh boy. I'm probably screwing this up already. Let's see. I'm sorry, guys. Just hold on a second. Oh boy, where is it? I gotta pause this so it doesn't double. Okay, let's see the chat here. Can you guys see me? Can you just give me like a type something? Just let me know you can see me. Oh boy. Probably not, right? People have speculated that the factions in The Last of Us Part 2 are based on Israel and Palestine. Oh man, I don't even know. I can't see you. All right, so let me get out of the chat. Yeah, I'm trying to read the chat. I'm John Cena. Oh man. All right, I'm just gonna get off that and I'm just gonna ramble. So I apologize, chat. Hold on. Sorry guys. All right, I'm back. I'm sorry. I can't read. They need to figure out a way to integrate like the chat with this. That would be so cool.
And his name is John Cena.
Dude, I want that to like, that was gonna be my intro for one of my recent videos. I wanted that so badly, but I didn't want to get sued. Oh my god. I was gonna, by the way, I brought sunglasses. I was gonna do my LA Knight impression. Be like, yeah.
Oh, are you a wrestling fan?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I'm a recently refurbished wrestling fan. We're gonna have to talk a little bit about that.
Hell yeah, let's go.
And how I got back into that.
Can I just get a drink real fast?
Fuck yeah!
I'm coming right back.
Fuck yeah! I left. You can too.
I'll be right back, fam. I apologize. Maybe here I'll put Isaac Clarke up here. Y'all could look at Isaac Clarke.
Yeah, not to mention, I'll sing him a drinking song. It's good. We'll sing him a bar song.
Don't sue me, Jay. Don't sue me. There you go. I'll be right back. Oh man.
So Let's see here. So I am drinking. So Rush Dog asked, "What's everyone drinking?" So I am drinking Blanton's tonight, the old standby, for sure. Um, yeah, drinking Blanton's, and I'm not sure what they have a pretty good cocktail that he's got put together. I'll let him tell you, because I'll be honest, my drunk ass doesn't necessarily remember it, but it was he's got a pretty good sounding cocktail actually. This seems like it's actually lower in calorie than what I'm fucking drinking, which is just pure fucking corn bourbon. Then we'll get into the when he gets back, we'll get into the comments and we'll go from there. Dipping into the Blanton's reserves. I was able to find a bottle. Yeah, I was able to find a bottle, but yeah, they're hard to find, man. They're hard to find these days. Like I might have to start switching over to the fucking Canadian whiskey, like you talked about. I've got that bottle. By the way, I've got that bottle. I haven't opened it yet of the Canadian whiskey you recommended. I think I'm reserving that for when I can finally get you coax you onto the show. That's going to be an amazing drink. But yeah, I do. So at least when the Blantons finally runs out because they can't fucking produce enough to for all these yuppies that have shown up onto the bourbon scene and everything's a fucking lottery, at least I'll have a good Canadian whiskey to draw back on. Or a Tennessee whiskey. I can always, I can always get Frank Sinatra. The Jack Daniel's Frank Sinatra is always available, which is a nice Tennessee whiskey. So, also Whistle Pig. Whistle Pig's pretty. They seem to not have the same supply issues, or i.e., people haven't discovered Whistle Pig yet as far as a good whiskey line. So Whistle Pig's always an option, but yeah, Blanton's is it's my go-to. It's my fucking go-to. I love it. It's just getting very hard to find. 100%. Oh goodness gracious. Oh, I gotta tell you guys, today was a nice healing day. Sometimes you need that. I went fishing. I went kayak fishing, and caught some good catfish too. Caught several catfish that were probably 3 to 4 pounds. Not the biggest in the world, but good eating. Like right in the weight range for good eating. If I were to keep them, I don't. I throw them back. But
Okay.
it was a very nice morning, just kind of fishing and just healing from fucking yesterday's ordeals, which I'm not going to get into because
Hello.
that's ghost in real life business. But hey, what's going on, buddy?
Okay. Woo.
All right, he's back. We're ready to get some of these comments going here. So Rush Dog says people have speculated the factions in The Last of Us Part 2 are based on Israel and Palestine. So that's interesting because I know that there's like several factions in Israel, like there's like Likud and there's other like political factions. And then in Palestine, I know that there's like different. So of course you've got Hamas and you've also got the PLO, and I think there's a couple
Yeah,
of factions in between there as well. So yeah, I guess I could see that. I could see that.
they kind of play with like the whole like I guess I don't know if this is the correct terminology. They kind of play with the cult thing too a little bit. Like there's definitely some stuff going on
So
for sure.
they got some cults and some different as
There's
well.
definitely real life things going on, and like they want you to think about these things, and that's the thing that's so fascinating to me is like they threw it all on the other character and not Ellie, and I'm almost like I get why they did it, but I also like feel like it made Ellie's I don't know, man. Ellie's trajectory in that game is so strange. It's just weird.
Right.
It's like you would think after all the BS she goes through in her life and in that first game and all that other stuff, that's the stuff that's something I would connect with her, but they did it for the other character. I don't know. I want to know a lot of their thought processes, but you're never gonna know any of that stuff. So
Well, and that's the thing. My understanding is that my
you know what I was
understanding.
drinking?
What's that?
They wanted to know what I was drinking, right? I heard you.
Yeah. Rush Dog asked what you're drinking right now. Yeah, did you change up drinks or same thing?
Real quick, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm drinking. I'm probably. I said this before. I'm probably being basic. I'm drinking Jack Apple and ginger ale, like a zero ginger ale to watch my sugar.
Okay, gotcha. There he is. So
It's delicious.
that sounds really good. So yeah, so Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey, a little bit of apple, and then
Little apple.
ginger ale sounds like a great mixed drink. So, for sure.
Yeah.
Rush Dog says I can't see you. And then Jay says no, you're John Cena.
Yeah, I got yeah.
Keithia says off camera. I guess he was talking about you because I'm always fucking off camera. I'm just a ghost.
I was trying to look at the chat, which I got to, but I didn't know that it bumps you off of the video. So I was like, God damn.
Well, that's why I read in super chats. It's kind of a joke around here. That's what was giving me so much fucking agita last time. Is that chat was actually crazy, but like I read all the chats. Like you don't have to pay me. I read them. 100%. Like, yeah, that's a jab at some of my other YouTube friends. iPatch Wolf. You know, which again, yeah, iPatch Wolf is good people.
Cool.
Good peeps. Great videos. Like I consider that guy like the final boss of YouTube content. Like literally, that dude, his videos are so good.
Seems like a very cool dude. I'm not like gonna act like I'm familiar with everything he does, but I've seen him on podcasts, and I'm like, yo, this guy seems really like wonderful. He seems like great, and he's a wrestling fan, so
you know, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, so his wrestling videos are what got me back into wrestling. Actually, his whole video, the unreality of pro wrestling about Roman Reigns and his whole thing, that is a crazy fucking story. Like the whole Roman Reigns going from like the most hated like babyface of all time to like a beloved heel is crazy.
Oh my God.
To me.
I think it took them like 7 or 8 years to get him over with the crowd. I mean, it's
he's over as fuck. He's over as fuck now.
He's done. It's like they'll say he's a Mount Rushmore. I mean, that's pretty much what's going to happen. It's done. It's a done deal.
4 years as champion, almost.
But I like what they're doing right now with Cody Rhodes, and I mean, I don't know if it's going to be the most exciting run, but the idea that a Rhodes, if you know anything about the Rhodes family,
it's
having
legendary.
the main title,
yeah, right.
Yeah, that for me is like, no, this like let this rock, dude. Let them have this. This is like, you need to have this moment because they're so integral to the wrestlers.
Well,
like, you gotta let them have
and it's obvious that they're building to an inevitable Randy Orton in him, and there's so much going on there. Like again, I had to do the back research, but like they've got the whole legacy thing. They're both second gen stars. That they're obviously building. I'm guessing that's going to be one of the big shows where they.
And I'm not saying he's going to lose, but if there was a guy that would beat him,
Randy Orton,
besides Roman, it's probably going to be Orton. So you know.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens.
And then setting up Roman with this bootleg bloodline is so funny. Like, it's so good.
Yeah, but you know what's funny, man? Like, Solo's gonna be a freaking player now. Like, he's great.
Solo's great. Solo's awesome. But Jacob Fatu.
Jacob comes in. He's trending every week. Comes in. He steals the entire show.
Jacob Fatu is crazy.
Bro, he's only 32 years old.
Oh my God. And here's the thing, like when people were talking, I didn't know who he was when he showed up, and people were like, oh my gosh, guys, if you know anything about Jacob Fatu, and I remember people talking about him. I think JD from New York was saying something about if you know anything about this guy, and if you know anything about this guy, and you know he's gonna come in and he's gonna show you things that a guy his size should not be able to do.
I hate this. I hate to be a mark, but I'm like, is this guy going to be a champion? Because I'm seeing it already. It's weird. He doesn't even need to talk.
No, he's so, the presence is just there. Yeah,
you could put him with a manager, have him kill everybody, and call it a night.
Well, and he obvious, could it's obvious they're pushing him too because they basically let him decimate Roman a couple weeks ago.
I think that it's funny, man. Like, I know people like love the Triple H era, and he is cooking. I'm not here to say he's not cooking.
Oh yeah.
But to ignore the importance of like X, Twitter, and how they trend people and get them big, like you know, he was trending for a while, so the audience knew that they wanted him, and then to see him now, it's like, well, there it is. It's the same. It's the same shit with LA Knight. You know, people wanted LA Knight. They bring him in as Max Dupree or whatever he is, no one wants it. You know, it's the same thing. It's just
bad
like,
booking,
bro,
bad booking, man. Yeah.
LA Knight is gonna be, forget it. That guy's a future champion. It's happening. If you don't think it is, you're out of your mind. But that's my hot take.
There's so much charisma there. Like, yeah, like
The
just
guy is gonna, yeah, he's a star. The guy is gonna he's gonna, yeah. That's it. He just signed a new deal. He's good. He's gonna be ready to go. You know what I mean? It's happening already. But the Cody,
100%.
I love the Cody thing right now. I have a real hot take if you want to hear it.
Sure.
I love Gunther. I didn't think he was ready for that belt.
Gunther?
At all.
I mean,
I'm not interested.
I'm not saying Gunther isn't good, because he is. He's one of the best wrestlers in the company.
Yeah.
I feel like his matches are all kind of similar, you know?
Yep.
That's the thing.
That's it.
Yep.
It's like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
You got it. Dude,
power bomb, chop.
That's it.
Roll credits.
I'm like, okay. Yeah. And then I missed the pay-per-view, and I heard the pay-per-view. Everybody said that match was like super boring. So I gotta watch it.
Yeah.
But I heard it wasn't very good. Like that match. I heard some of it was good. I don't know. So I just gotta make my own opinion. But I heard it was very disappointing in that regard. It was very, very like laid out.
Gotcha.
Dude, you know, even like Ludwig is like, I think Ludwig's almost more interesting than him. I don't know why. His character is more of a douche. And there's just something going on there where he cuts a promo that I hate him, but he's also kind of becoming like, I don't know. I think that Gunther needs to work on the character. There's something there that's not connecting with him. I know he's a heel.
It's again that's a thing where the athleticism and the wrestling know-how are there, but the character isn't quite, basically. So
something like, yeah, there's something missing. Like, I get it. You're a wrestler's wrestler. You know what though? FTR did that. And FTR is more interesting than him, and that's saying something. And that's a different company.
Or you have a character like JBL that was just fantastic.
Oh,
like fucking JBL. You want to talk about one of the all-time goats? JBL had not one but two completely separate gimmicks and fucking killed both of them.
You want to talk about a guy that literally went from being like, okay, he was cool, he was popular, to like, holy, this is the guy who's a bad guy. Oh my God! That guy rebranded himself.
Crazy belt run too. Crazy belt run.
Yeah, even when like him and Cena, Cena beat him,
legendary run. Yeah,
memorable. Like, I'm like, this guy everything about that. That's how a heel should be. Talks his smack. He's got really interesting matches. Like, I think people are gonna be like studying that dude's run in like the next decade or something.
JBL was great. JBL was great.
JBL.
So,
that's so cool. So dope. Dude.
So Rush Dog says, "What's everyone drinking?" And we already got that. And then Rush Dog kind of jabbing me, dipping into the Blanton's reserves because I bitch constantly about how hard Blanton's is to find these days on the primary market. So fucking hard to find that. Blanton's is a bourbon. It's Buffalo Trace Distillery does it. Same people that do Pappy's in Kentucky. And it should be around $70 to $80 on the open market. Is what the bottle should cost per bottle. But because it's gotten very, very popular very fast, because nobody can get Pappy's, so now everybody has kind of honed in on Blanton's for being that bourbon, for being the bourbon. Now, good luck finding it for less than like $300. Like,
that's crazy.
And you have to, in order to have the privilege of paying that, you also have to be entered into a fucking lottery. So you have to enter a lottery to have an opportunity to pay $300 for a bottle.
Bro,
it's like, fuck that.
eBay? Do they have eBay for liquor?
They have liquor stores, and the prices are there. Yeah. They're okay on there. But the problem is a lot of states don't allow liquor to be shipped in. And I don't know. I don't think Illinois allows that, which means I'm fucked.
I'm on Long Island, bro. So we got liquor stores out the ass. I mean, I'm just keeping it. We got bars.
Let me do some research. I don't know if you can ship liquor, because I don't want you to commit I definitely don't want you to commit interstate mail crime.
I'm probably not.
I was gonna say, because if I can find out it's on the up and up, I will pay you a finder's fee to ship me a fucking bottle.
No, I'm good, man.
But I don't want to get you in trouble. I don't think it's legal.
We're good. We're good.
I don't think the mail will take it to. I mean, you wouldn't even. What would happen is the mail would be like, yeah, this is going to Illinois. Yeah, no, it's not. Here you go. Here, have it back.
We have like the YouTubers meeting or whatever, the council meeting where we all like meet, whatever. We'll figure that out. The council of YouTubers.
Council of YouTube.
Council of Gaming YouTubers.
So Roland Lightbane says, be advised that Neil Druckmann is an Israeli Zionist. So I guess if you could tighten that up, Roland, like I want to define our terms here. I want to be very careful with that. So when you say Israeli Zionist, do you mean like somebody who is like gung-ho for the Palestine war? Is that what we're talking about, or are we talking about something else that I hope we're not? But
I don't even want to get into that.
Yeah.
Can we not?
Guess doesn't want to get into that. So. Yeah.
So. Just like not. Yeah, I don't even know, and I'm not gonna try. Like, I know.
No, we'll 86 that on the guest request.
A couple of nerds on the internet talking about video games and wrestling. I don't think we need to talk about that shit.
I mean, I can talk geopolitics, but
no, please don't. I'm not the guy.
Okay, Roland says I did not bring it up. Forget about it. So we're good.
I listen, respect, love. Thank you for joining the chat. I don't know. Dude, it's like when you were like before you go, I'm a reader, and you didn't hear what I said. You'll see it in the replay. I said I am your worst. I said I am your worst nightmare. I don't read. I used to read comic books and manga when I was younger, and that's it, bro. I have a knowledge of Marvel, DC, and all that crap, Dark Horse, and that's it, bro. I don't know. The last book I read was like Harry Potter 4.
No, it's no problem. We'll do geopolitics cast some other time.
Yeah, we'll do the geopolitics.
So then Roland says, bro, you brought it up. Oh, so what happened was I think a commenter brought it up. So I didn't bring it up. So I'm gonna pass the buck too. Let me go back here. There it is. So yeah, Rush Dog have speculated the factions in The Last of Us Part 2 are based on Israel and Palestine.
Okay.
That turned into be advised that Neil Druckmann is an Israeli Zionist. So I did not bring that up.
No. All I said was, yeah, that could be true. I said cult stuff. There was more. I thought there was a lot of cult stuff in that, to be honest, because they had these. This isn't a spoiler.
Yeah.
There's like zones, like wicker things and council area. Like to me, that was very cult. But I don't know, man. I mean, I was thinking about like The Walking Dead a little bit more with that kind of situation. I don't know.
Well, yeah, factions, things like that. Yeah. And Brooke says no political talks, please. So, yep, 100%.
Yeah, I'm not here for I'm not smart enough for that stuff. Okay, I stay. Listen, you want to talk? Let's talk about Pac-Man World 2 coming back. Let's get that rolling. Let's get remasters. I don't know.
100%. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, if either of us were, let's keep it real, myself included, if either of us were smart enough to navigate those issues, we'd be sitting on a fucking mountain somewhere, fucking giving sage wisdom as people like fucking trekked up the mountain to ask us. I'm a fucking clown on YouTube.
Dude, it's cool, brother. I am too. I'm like, I have the Rocky Balboa thing going on. Like, I can barely talk. Like I think I'm an okay, like a smart person, but I can't get the words out.
Well, and then I watch my videos. I'm a very smart clown, but at the end of the day, I'm a clown.
I'm watching the videos and I'm like, am I having a stroke right now? Like, what the frig is going on with my mouth? Like, what am I saying? Sometimes I just do that. It's really funny.
Goodness gracious. I totally get that and understand that. Fuck, especially as drunk as we are, like sometimes just getting the words out at all is a fucking
dude.
Listen, a fucking miracle.
Jay's in this room. I rock and roll with the best of them, brother. I'm a real dwarf. Like I could do it. I can hang with you. It's weird. Yeah. It's like my one superpower.
I was gonna say, did you ever do Power Hour? Power Hours. This is a game that was really fun. Like when I was in college, we used to do what's called a Power Hour. So what you do is you would put on like pop music, like popular music at the time. And basically every song would get a minute. So you'd get 1 minute of a pop song. And then then you would hear shot, shot, shot. And then it would switch over to another song. And
Okay,
so,
so I went. Oh, you want a story?
yeah, let's do
I'll
it.
give
Let's
you a
hear it.
story. Jay, you've never heard this story before. So years ago, in my awkward age, I was trying to like meet new people and hang out, and I was talking to some young people that were like maybe a year or so younger than me. So I get invited to this girl's party. Turns out that the girl is like a freshman. I
Right.
didn't know that. I'm
Okay.
an idiot. And she's got like this huge mansion house, the big backyard, front yard such situation. See, I can't talk. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. This is really awkward. I got friends that are going with other friends and hanging out. And there was a moment where she's like, oh, what's going on? I was like, what the hell is happening? They're like, shot, shot, shot. And they're just bringing out
That's
drinks.
power
I'm like, oh
hour.
no.
That's power
Oh,
hour,
no.
man. Oh, you fucked up by the end of power hour.
No, I gotta go home. And then I'm also like taking the shots. I'm like, I gotta go home. Just, this is bad,
Dude.
I ended up just bad, dude. I had to leave. I had to get out.
So we drank a handle of Fireball one night.
Ooh.
Handle of Fireball. And on top of that, I had eaten some like we had went to the fucking store down the street and we had gotten like some fucking Michelina's buffalo mac and cheese or some shit.
Oh,
And so yeah, so we ate that shit. We did the power hour, and I literally we were at my house. We were partying at my house. I woke up. I'm not even fucking kidding you. It was a mess. My bed was a fucking mess as far as like just puke everywhere. Like I laid, and so like I remember waking up. It was Fireball. Keep in mind, it was that sweet shit that gives you like the fucking hammer hangover.
Oh.
And so we're sitting there. My friends are in the living room on the floor. I can hear them moaning and groaning. I'm in my bed, like I'm laying there in my own shit. And then no, I didn't shit myself. But I mean it's puke. I'm laying
Like
there in my own
puke?
puke. You're laying there in my puke.
Oh.
And
Oh.
I wake up, I go to try to
Oh.
move, and I just went back to sleep. It was that bad. I lay probably for that whole day. That cleanup was nasty. That was nasty. My buddies literally they got up, they kind of trudged past their mess because they were laying in their own puke shit too. Not shit. Again, nobody shit themselves. I want to be clear on that.
You never drink a lot and then eat like macaroni and cheese
Buffalo
or like
mac and cheese.
the cheese fucking destroy you.
Yeah, it was buffalo mac and cheese, and it was the Totino's pizzas is what we were eating.
Oh, dude!
While we did a fucking power hour, it was bad, man. It was bad. And
I love it.
So they walked in and they're like, Zoo? And I did not respond. And then I just see them like stumble out of the house and exit. They just leave.
Like you woke up and checked where.
So I had to wake up. I had to clean up my mess and their fucking mess in the living room. And I'm like, yeah, thanks a lot, guys. And it was like 8 p.m. at night the next day. And I'm like fucking getting everything cleaned up, stripping sheets.
We had a friend that
needed a new mattress on that one. I literally had to replace my mattress. It was that bad.
We had a buddy that we went to his apartment and we were hanging out with him, and then he's like, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and he's gone for like an hour and a half. So we end up finding him, all of us, and he's in the dark. He's like naked, or no, he's not naked. That's not right, true. And he's on his bed, and we're shouting on him. He's passed out. We're like, we're gonna go home. We're gonna go. And he rolls over. We roll him over, and he pees all over himself. We're like, we're out of here.
Right. Hey, let it never be said that video gamers don't know how to party. We know how to party harder than fucking anybody. I promise you.
He's not a gamer.
Yeah, we can throw a hell of a party. So Chase Sickler says, LOL, I agree. LOL, as someone who knows Blake personally, I definitely agree with him. As far as like the non-reading thing, I guess. So,
well, I had a moment where I read a couple of books, but I mean, I'm not gonna act like I don't know, man.
And then
the win by IP Freely.
No, you're fine. And then Rush Dog says, my bad, I've read some articles in the gaming press about parallels between Last of Us 2 and Israel and Palestine. And I'm sure there's parallels there, like 100%. I'm sure they're there. And then I was not intending to start a geopolitical debate. No, and I know you weren't. Nobody was intending to debate, but again, I'm Ron motherfucking Burgundy here, guys. If you type something in the chat, Ron Burgundy will read the chat. So I 100% promise, like, I'm fearless as far as that goes. So
that's why I didn't invite any of my Facebook friends, because I thought they were going to start writing crazy stuff in here, and then you end up reading crazy stuff.
Ron Burgundy will read it. Yeah, I will read it. I will address it. So, and then Jay Sickler says, "LOL, how come? LOL, how come you never told me that story, Blake?"
Because it's embarrassing. I literally was like, I have to leave. Like, and she's throwing like they're handing shots to us. Okay. I didn't tell you this part. I'm on a trampoline. I literally was like, I have to get out. I was like, ugh! Yeah, I was stuck on this like netted trampoline. I'm like, this is my nightmare. I gotta leave. Yeah, and I was pretty young, so I was like, this sucks. I gotta get out. So that was a while ago. Yeah, that's
you got to be careful on that. Yeah, that'll.
I was like, I gotta leave. I don't want to. I didn't know. Nobody told me the details. It was just, oh, here's a party. I'm like, guess we're going. Horrible. I'm like, what were you people thinking when we went to this damn thing?
We had a high school party one time, and what's hilarious about it is, we got so drunk that we couldn't even defend our liquor stash. Some older kids from the same high school that heard about the party literally came and fucking ganked our alcohol supply, and we didn't pace ourselves. So we're all fucked up on the floor and shit. Fucking my buddy, we'll call him B, as in boy. B is wrapped around a fucking B man wrapped around a fucking toilet, and the fucking seniors like come in, literally gank our fucking liquor supply. You hear B's like, "Come back here, you motherfuckers!" And it's like, "I'm gonna beat your ass." They're just like, "Yeah, whatever, kid." Out they go. Yeah, they just came and took our alcohol. They come and ganked it from us. Like, are you fucking kidding me? It's not like we could drink anymore anyway. Like, we were down for the count, man.
I know when I was in college, I got invited to this girl's party, and she was you're already getting like, this is funny. She was super rich. Again, another like weird, not like a mansion, but like you could just tell, very high end person.
Sure.
And we go to her house, and she doesn't tell us anything. She just says, "I'm having friends over. It's gonna be a party." So we all show up. It's like me and coworkers, and everybody at the party is like her family. Like her entire family is there. And we get there, and the kegs are like already tapped, and the dad is so hammered. He's like pouring us all the beer, and he's foaming it up, and he's yelling at us. It was like, what are we doing here? It's just weird. Some of these times in your life, you're like, how the hell did this even happen? But it's just whatever. It's life.
Well, it's again, like most people just go with they just go with the live stream, man. To use a Final Fantasy VII reference, just go with the live stream. You just go where it takes you. and life is all about, to me, life is all about like meeting interesting people and learning along the way. And sometimes
don't take the dark material, okay, guys?
Yeah. So sometimes those interesting lessons come in the form of a drunk fest. Sometimes they're not even like a pass out fest. Like there was one time where I'll never forget. Like I ended up, we started at a bar, and we ended up at a house party, which then ended up at another house party. And I'll never forget being there and me and my friend were the only motherfuckers in the whole house that spoke English, right? And so we're sitting there, and nobody spoke English. Nobody in the house spoke English. And the guy just walks up to me, and he hands me a sandwich. And the sandwich, it was a Cuban sandwich, right?
Yes.
And I took a bite of this sandwich, and oh my God, it's one of the best to this day. That Cubano sandwich is one of the best fucking things I ever eat. And he just looks at me and says, "Good?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah, this is great." And I'll never forget, like, and here's the thing. Like, we went to another house. We kept party hopping. So I woke up, and I'm like, "Hey, I had one of the best things I've ever eaten in my entire fucking life, bro. Where were we?" And the guy's like, "I don't know. I don't know where we were, dude. Like, I don't know. It was like 3 houses ago, bro."
Did you ever go to a quinceañera?
No.
I got invited to I used to work with this girl, and her sister was. We were young. Context: young, not old. We got invited to her sister's quinceañera, which is like their sweet 16, and the Mexican, and we go to this other town. We go into like this old timey like one of those army halls, and it's pitch black in there, and it's the most like lit, crazy like party. Like people are going nuts.
Okay.
And they're like handing like cerveza, cerveza, cerveza. I'm like, oh my
Nice.
god. We're like, they're just dude, it was nuts, bro. And yeah, the
Fucking
food was
nice.
banging. Dude, it was literally one of the craziest things I've ever been to. To
To
this
this
day, I'm
day,
like,
yeah, I have tried so hard to replicate that Cuban sandwich. It's in the mojo
crazy.
sauce. It's in the mojo sauce, and that's where the magic was. It's like a mojo sauce, like a citrus mojo.
Oh my
And
god, that's
I think this particular Cuban sandwich used, I think it used pork steak or pork shoulder instead of using like, yeah, oh yeah, it was
yeah,
like thin cut pork steak on there, and then
sounds
it
good.
had the pickles and it had the bread, and oh my god, you haven't lived till you have like authentic Cuban bread. It's so fucking good. But
Yeah, I
like,
haven't. I haven't tried.
just I have tried to replicate that sandwich for years. I still can't do it.
I don't know, man. Maybe you got to go to like a proper deli or something, or like a bodega, whatever. I don't know what it is off
I
the
mean,
top of
we
my head.
have delis and heck, I think we got a Cuban deli, but it wasn't like
Yeah,
this. It just wasn't like this. This was like some
it's like
homemade. This is some next level like homemade
yeah,
grandma shit. Is what this was.
dude. You have to find like almost like have to go to a food truck or something for that
Yeah,
experience.
or just find the fucking house so I can thank him and get the recipe. But nobody knows where we
Yeah,
were. Like we
that's
were just
stupid.
house hopping, and nobody knows where that fucking house was. It's like, man, oh, it's
It
so
sounds like
good.
a 90s, it's like a 90s comedy movie. You just like you have to show up
It
at random
does.
spots.
Yeah, we started at the bar, and then it's like, hey, why don't you come over to the house? We went over to the house, and then that turned into, hey, my buddy down here, let's go there. And so about the second or third house was like the house was like it was just all Cuban folks, and they could
Yeah,
fucking cook, man. Like the cooking,
yeah.
it was off the hook.
Believe it, bro. I freaking believe it. I don't even know. Whatchamacallit? So you mostly I don't know if you mind me changing the subject. I don't want to be
No, no,
rude.
I mean,
Um
subject goes where it goes. We're good.
so you're mostly a PC gamer, is that right? Am I
I
correct about that, or do you mostly
so
Switch?
I game more on the Switch, believe it or not, but I'm a boomer.
Okay.
And so when I
Okay.
stream, the joke is that I stream. I'm a Switch gamer who only plays PC games. The reason that that joke exists is because I don't know how to stream fucking Switch to my. I don't know how to stream it. I've got the setup stuff for
Yeah.
it, but getting it from the Switch because Nintendo makes everything fucking hard. Getting it from the
You should talk to what's her name, Mandy? I see Mandy's always streaming. Mandy
yeah,
Lee?
yeah. See how she
She's
does it because she streams Switch.
She doesn't really know who I am, but she's great. Like
Oh,
I watch her streams.
Mandy Lee's content's awesome. Yeah,
Super super talented, just like just so funny, and she always throws like a little quip in. I'm like,
yeah.
you're funny.
So
And I like she's cool.
what ends up happening is I don't know how to do it. So when I stream games, it's always PC games. But
Yeah,
I actually do most of my gaming on the Nintendo Switch. I'm playing
yeah.
Cyberpunk right now. Like right now,
I
that game's
saw that.
got me fucking enthralled. You want to talk about a game that just endless and it just never fucking ends and there's just so much to it.
Yeah,
I am so overwhelmed with like in-depth stuff to do in Cyberpunk is crazy.
bro. That game, like, I pre-ordered that game when it came out. I bought it on my PC at the time, and
I'm sorry.
when yeah, dude, Jackie was like glitching through the elevator and killing himself and
I was gonna say, yeah,
disappearing.
no, that game was. I understand. My understanding is because I'm just now getting to it. My understanding is that game was fucking hot garbage on launch.
Bro, I shot a guy and he ping ponged through the walls the weirdest stuff I've ever seen. Hilarious, but really weird.
I saw
But
the
yeah,
opening
man,
cutscene where it's like a bunch of headless people T-posing.
yeah,
Fuck, on the open.
yeah, the pan that happened to me. The pan and on a woman and her eyeballs like popped out of her head. I'm like, whoa.
Whoa.
But like it was cool. Like you saw the foundations of it, and I was upset, but I put enough in that I was like, I can't refund this.
Right.
But yeah, dude, like at the time when I pre-ordered it, I was like, I feel like I have ADD. Like, with all due respect to anybody who has it, like I was so overwhelmed by everything. I'm like, oh my god! And now I saw, forget it, updates and changes, and it's just a better game. It's just a beast now.
It's somehow became, it's up there with like No Man's Sky. Is
Okay,
like just a
I gotta play
game that started off as a trash fire and ended up being fucking fantastic.
that.
Like they literally made that game just
What
next
what kind
level,
of build?
man.
What kind of build do you play in Cyberpunk? Like, what are you rocking?
So I've got two going on right now. I've got a Senator Armstrong build that just flatlines fucking people with nanomachines, son. And then I've also got a solo gun build that's running shotgun, sniper rifle, assault rifle.
Okay, I basically went like Doomslayer. I was at the time. I was like shotguns and like punching
Fucking
people.
yeah,
And just,
But that's
dude, I
what's so
loved it.
great about Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk to me is like Grand Theft Auto meets Deus Ex, and
Yes,
that's
absolutely.
an amazing combo. Open
I need
world
to.
Deus Ex is fabulous.
I need to go back and play that. Eventually, I will.
Deus Ex
I
is
would like.
I definitely
I gotta replay Cyberpunk, but I kind of tapped out because it was buggy when I played it.
that's why I was kind of scared away from it. Like when I heard all that, I'm like, I'm gonna hold my 60 down. I'm gonna hold my powder for now.
From what I was told, the same kind of, not on this level, but the same kind of stuff happened when they did Witcher 3. I was told Witcher 3 didn't start off amazing, and then later it became an incredible game, like because they patched the hell out.
Okay. I was gonna
So I don't
say,
know.
like, yeah, I mean, I never heard anything bad about Witcher 3. I heard a lot of bad stuff about Cyberpunk.
Oh no, Cyberpunk was definitely like, well, the whole thing with
They were
that
ready.
is
They
like,
were ready to burn CD Projekt Red to the ground, bro. Like
do
they
you, I mean, I think you'd love this. You know who Jeff Gerstmann is?
were
You need to listen.
Giant Bomb founder.
He used to be on Giant Bomb. There's an old, if you could find it, there's an old Giant Bomb episode about the launch of that.
Yeah.
And he said that it's really like not even just CD Projekt Red's issue, because it's the sheer fact that Sony and Microsoft both knew that the game wasn't raring to go, and they still pushed it out. They still pushed it out with the testing.
Well, that's
It's a very
when I saw when Sony and Microsoft did their refund thing. Sony's like, we're taking it off the store, and I'm like, yeah, but guys, you had to have certified that.
right. That's the stuff that people keep sleeping on. It's like, oh, CD Projekt Red. Yeah, no kidding. But like, you're all sleeping on the two big companies
Yeah,
that literally
for sure. But buck stops with CD Projekt. But at the same time,
yeah,
there is culpability with the people that fucking certified the game. 100%.
it's crazy, bro. And that's the thing, man. It's when you hype a game up, the expectations are so high, and they want, all right, here it is. And if it's not if it's not fully cooked, you're screwed. So that the fact that they were doing the refunds, it says it all. That was scary, dude. I was like, and they made a ton of money. They still made their money.
Oh, they gave some of it
Crazy.
away to shareholders. I think they settled for like I don't think they told us, but they settled. They settled with the shareholders because the shareholders sued them. And I know
100%.
there was another class action from the gamers that didn't go anywhere, but the shareholders got their money, like for sure. So the shareholders got some of that
Can the
both ways.
gamers afford it? Can the gamers afford
It
that
was
lawsuit?
it was a class action. So yeah, they all basically some ambulance chasing attorneys like we can make some money here and sign everybody up. Is
Really,
what happened.
you had a really interesting conversation the other day. I was listening. I was on I was in your chat for the '90s handheld gamer. Shout out to
Yeah,
him. He's a cool dude. And you guys were talking about how it's really hard for like low income people to like buy certain things now.
sure.
And
Yeah, the
yeah, I don't
whales
know.
argument. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was just thinking about that. I'm like, yeah, dude, like how are all these low income incoming gamers gonna go and sue these giant?
Yeah, basically, yeah, it would be class action is how it happens.
Oh my
So
god.
an attorney will see that, hey, there's an issue, they lied, quote unquote, and then they would put the notice out saying, hey, did you buy Cyberpunk 2077 in its launch date? Did you buy it on PS4 and Xbox One? please call me. You might be able to make 30 cents in this class action lawsuit.
Can you imagine if that happened? Can you imagine if that happened with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet?
Should have.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Except Pokemon fans are literally like just enthralled to this company for some reason.
Bro, now, I bought it. I'm part of the problem.
I did too. We all are enthralled.
And here's the thing. It's not a bad game.
It's not.
It doesn't run good and it's buggy, but again, it's and I know you're gonna say the buck stops at Game Freak or Nintendo Pokemon Company, and that's fine. I agree, but it's also fun. It's also a Nintendo issue. Like they put the thing out.
Yes.
So it's a universal.
Well, Nintendo has tolerated Game Freak's laziness for a long. It's laziness, like, literally. Like if you look at, you look at the animations of the Pokemon, somebody did a comparison and just showed how, and what it is Game Freak, because I think Game Freak's strength isn't in actual game development. I think Game Freak's strength is in the metagame, which is the battle game, which is always fabulous. It's always stellar. But I don't think they're the best. I don't think they're the best video game developer. I just don't. I don't think they're very good at it.
The problem that a lot of people aren't understanding, and it's straight out of, you could go and look this up, I'm not making this up, there's people from Game Freak that have said it, they're trying to hit a quota, I guess. They're trying to hit something that they cannot attain because they're putting out the games at such a rapid pace that it's causing problems with the development of the game. And so that's happening, and then Nintendo's like, all right, F it, let's go. We got a Pokemon game, we're going to make our money. Ooh. And so you have a lot of problems. So when that happened, Nintendo had to issue an apology and promises fixes, which never came really.
Right.
And I don't remember what happened. I swore I read this somewhere, and I can't find it. But apparently, I read Nintendo went to the Pokemon Company or Game Freak and was legitimately pissed off at them. You can't. I don't know where I read this. I need a source, but I swore they read that it said something like they were like, you cannot put a game out like this ever again. They were straight up like, yo, enough.
Well, because keep in mind, Game Freak is Game Freak and the Pokemon Company, they're like a second, and that's actually Rush Dog actually took my next point right out of my mouth. Perfect, Ryan Reedy. That's awesome. Because let me go down to Rush Dog's comment here real quick. We'll get to your other ones, but Rush Dog says Game Freak was late to HD development. We've seen them go through the same growing pains other devs did 15 plus years ago. And what I was going to say is, I feel like the Nintendo Switch, going from that portable system where there wasn't a lot of expectation on graphics, and going to what they did on the Switch, I feel like that transition really fucked them
up. Yeah, and I mean,
I don't remember these complaints on Sun Moon. Let me put it that way.
Well,
I'm not saying they weren't there, but I don't remember hearing them vocally. People are like, Sun Moon runs like shit and doesn't play right. And
I did not like Sun and Moon. I'm just gonna say that.
But you didn't like it because you didn't like the direction it went, or because you didn't like it technically speaking.
No. I was trying to say it's a direction thing. It's not the way it ran.
That's what I'm saying. Technically, I feel like the Switch fucked them up.
Sword and Shield was fine. Sword and Shield's biggest problem was that it was probably one of the easiest games in the entire series.
It was super easy. You could Leon as a champion was pathetic.
You could literally get hammered and just freaking breeze. Yeah, there's maybe one tough fight in that whole game. It's a joke.
Also, the villain makes no fucking sense whatsoever. His motivation makes no sense at all.
And I'll say it, I liked it. I thought it was an awesome game. It's just not. It's the easiest one in the franchise. So then you see Scarlet Violet, and you're like, okay, they're doing these big things, but oh man, did they drop the ball? And then, even I don't know if I'm the only one. I wasn't even the story kind of lost me too in that. I wasn't vibing with a lot of it. I was like, I beat it, and I was like, all right, whatever.
Talk about Sword Shield.
No. Once we get to Scarlet and Violet, and they have and all those
Scarlet Violet had 3 little mini stories. I feel like
Yeah,
I like
me
the
too.
characters. I think the story was a little lacking, but the
Yeah,
characters are some of my
yeah,
favorites. Like the characters are fucking
yes,
great.
yeah, yeah. Like that group of like the kids that are like troublemakers. Love
Yeah,
them.
Team
Like
Star.
love,
Yeah, the bully storyline, and yeah,
yeah. Love Nimona. I love the other
Nimona
girl.
is fantastic. Yeah,
Nimona,
I
the other
feel
girl.
like Scarlet Violet amazingly had a weaker champion even than Leon, which was crazy. Um, what's her name?
Yeah.
Gita or terrible. So easy.
With the jump, didn't she have like a jumpsuit or something?
Yes, and you body her. You just fucking body her.
But yeah, she had like again. I think she had one thing that's it, and then it was like okay, like I beat you. Like it's weird, man. I don't even, oh, there goes my phone. I don't even care if like the games are like super easy, but like yeah, there's got to be a hook, and like if the game's not performing good, that's bad, man. That's a real problem. There was so many bugs, like Pokemon were disappearing on the map, and I'm like, it was just bad. I was like, what the? But I liked it. I thought it was a good game. It's just, it really showcased like you could be the biggest thing in the world and still have things like this happen where you put a game out and it's clearly not ready to go.
I feel like
So
any fight on the tower with the treasure chest Pokemon, just magical fucking things started happening. Like you would be facing the wrong direction, or you would be like off the tower, ordering your Pokemon on the top of the tower to fight. There was some wild shit going on with the fights where you climb a tower and
and
fight the little treasure chest Pokemon.
I really love the idea of the Pokemon that could transform and do all that, and that to me was interesting because rather than be like, oh yeah, we're just gonna give you a plane or something like some
Right.
BS. Like we'll make it. That was interesting to me. I know some people didn't like that. I thought that was actually really cool. Like that was a creative. I don't know what they're gonna do for the next thing, but but I don't know if you saw Pokemon Legends ZX, which now people are very high on the Legends stuff. They're taking extra time on it, and that's a big
Yeah.
deal. That's what I'm very fascinated. Is like, okay, this could be if this is coming to Switch 2 or whatever they're plotting. This could
Probably
be
a
like
cross.
really
Might be a
nice.
cross gen game. Yep.
Right. I think like I don't know if I'm being outspoken here. I think Prime 4 is gonna be the same thing. I think it
Yeah.
comes
Oh
to
no,
this
no.
and it comes to,
I 100% agree.
yeah.
Yeah.
I just see it happening. But that's what I'm saying. Like it's set they're setting it up for like this could be a real banger because I don't know if it's just me. I know Arceus is not a beautiful game, but that game really I was like, okay, you got me. Like
I
they
loved
really
when I
they had
played of Arceus. I loved it.
yeah, I was like, this is good. The weakest thing for me not even the graphics. I thought the mission system was weak. But other than that, I'm like, this is a banger game. Like this is a good one. This is a really great game. Soundtrack was chill. Like it was just a chill game. I don't know. I had a lot of fun with it. I've been talking highly of it. I think that's the best Pokemon game on the Switch, honestly.
Arceus. Yeah. I God, I
It's
can't
really
even think
good,
of
man.
another candidate. Yeah, it's got to be Arceus.
Um,
So
you
yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what they do with this new one. And Rush
yeah, they're
Dog
thinking a
actually
lot about
says,
it.
speaking of Pokemon, I think the next mainline game will be a Switch 2 launch title. It will obviously face a lot of scrutiny. Yeah. Yeah, people are going to be eyeing that one, whatever it is. Like, by the way, if they put a Pokemon, so there it is.
No,
We've been going back and forth
no,
with guests on like, okay, what the fuck can
no,
Nintendo do to get people to buy their new system? There it is, actually,
no.
right there. And people forget about that. When the Pokemon game comes out, the new Switch will sell. When the new exclusive Pokemon comes out, Switch is going to have no problem
I
moving
don't think
30
it's gonna
million
be a
fucking.
launch. I don't think it's gonna be a launch. I don't think it's gonna be a launch title. I'm just being honest. I don't think it's gonna be a launch title.
The timing is
That's
going to be tough on that because they're working on Arceus now.
that's what I'm. Yeah, the work. That's what I'm saying. They're working on what's it called, ZX or something.
ZX
And
and
I
we all know. So Rush, that's a good point that Monster
right.
brings
That's
up.
the only thing.
We both know
That's the
Game
only thing I'm
Freak
trying to think of.
is not capable of splitting their fucking forces.
I
We know that.
I will say this to you. I will say this to you. Do I think it could just happen the next year? Yeah, sure. Why the hell not?
No,
But
that
I don't
said,
know, man.
when it
Right
drops,
when it. Right. I
the
just
Switch's sales problems are over.
to
That's
me,
true.
the play the play is you do the Legends GX. It's It's kicking ass. It's hitting all the old crowd and the kids. You're getting all the old fans in. You finally got this big game, and then you drop the next. Like, to me, that's what I would do in my fakey marketing head.
That sounds good.
Like, yeah, that's what but I don't know.
Dropping new Pokemon, and the thing is, Nintendo knows this. I know they want a good one, and I want a good one as a gamer. But Nintendo knows that Nintendo knows. They know 100% that the moment they drop a fucking new Pokemon game, it's game over. They're gonna sell 20+ million copies, easy, and people will buy hardware because of that.
Can I bring up another thing that I did?
Yeah.
I did a underrated Switch titles list.
Mm-hmm.
That did, and this is the only thing I could say to you. Where, if I can find it, this one should have did. This one did all right. This should have been a bigger hit, but it's definitely for an audience, a smaller audience, I guess.
Pokemon Snap 2, yeah. You know what? Pokemon Snap 1 was one of the few N64 games I really remember like going to fucking town on. Like, I like Pokemon Snap 1.
You know how Nintendo or any of these games have they have a weird thing with some of their canon, and you're like, oh, I guess they're not going to do this one thing that people really want. But this game actually does the thing that you wanted, and I can't spoil it, but it's nuts. And you're like, oh my god, they did it! They did that one thing that you didn't think they were actually going to do it. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, I don't know, man. That one was cool. That one was just a chill vibes game. Different game, different kind of game. Just very chill game. Good looking game, too, my dad.
You know, can we talk a little bit about the Nintendo Switch and how it seems to be hitting just about every button it needs to hit? Like, oh my gosh, the diversity of first-party content on this system. There's not many franchises left. We were talking earlier. We need a Punch-Out. We need an F-Zero, a real F-Zero. We need a Punch-Out.
Yep.
We need a Star Fox. As a stretch, I would love to see a Golden Sun or a Mother game, which is not going to happen. We're not getting Mother. But
Switch 2, you're getting Golden Sun.
Golden Sun is possible. Golden Sun is possible.
I think. I don't know. I'm not going to get your hopes up. I want to believe that's going to be the one that they do.
Yeah, Golden Sun is possible. Mother, I want to tell people, Mother is not, because Shigesaki Itoi would need to be on board, and he's not. Shigesaki Itoi is like a genuine fucking celebrity in Japan, and he does all kinds of other shit. He's an Iron Chef guy. He's an author. He's a calendar. Yeah, no, he is like a Renaissance man over in Japan. He's not a video game developer. Shigesaki Itoi is not even really a game developer. Shigesaki Itoi is a Renaissance man celebrity who has dabbled in game development 3 times.
Can I tell you what I want to see what needs to happen on the Switch too? Yeah. Like 150% has to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's 2 things, okay? Number 1, they need to figure out a way if they're going to bring Kid Icarus back, because they got to do it. It has.
Kid Icarus is another. That's another one. Kid Icarus is another one.
That game was so good, but if they want to just do a new one, I'm all for it. Bring it back. And then number 2, and this is the weird one, I think they need to bring Pushmo back. I don't know if you ever played Pushmo on the 3DS.
No, but I've heard good things about Pushmo.
They need like a strong, because they see the strength of how Tetris, dude. Tetris 99 is a machine, and they're putting out Pushmo, man.
I love Tetris 99. Fuck, I'm one of these weirdos that will even play Tetris 99 in single player mode and let the computer attack me.
Nobody talks about the originals on 3DS and how good Pushmo is. So effing good. I think they just renewed the trademark or something, which means nothing. But I'm just saying, a Pushmo collection, Crashmo. Oh, I'm day one for me. I'll buy that. Heartbeat, I'll buy that.
Well, I wouldn't see why not. Yeah. I mean, Switch is fast becoming the place for Tetris with this new Tetris collection launch, Tetris 99. It's got Tetris Effect. There's so many good Tetris games on the Switch.
You are 150% right, though. We do need a new Punch-Out. It's time. It's been way.
It's time for a new Punch-Out. It's absolutely time for a new Punch-Out.
Oh my god, it's been way too long, bro. It's been so long. I bought that at launch too. Love that game. Best marketing campaign of all time from Nintendo.
Yeah, I know.
It's not even.
Punch
what
Out,
is it?
There's so much love for Wii Punch-Out. So much love for that game on my channel.
What is it? You're gonna be like a yo-yo. When you come down, get knocked down. You're gonna come back up.
Yes,
I'm
that's
like,
it. Yeah.
this is the greatest. This is the greatest marketing. Oh my god. Ah,
It was really good.
he's like, I have. Oh, he's like, I haven't been doing this for 30 years, but it's time. And I'm like, yeah, let's go, dude. Oh, dude, God, such a great. What a game! What a game! Do I have to pull that out? I love that game. Punch
So
Out Wii is amazing. Amazing.
there's a lot of love that comes on this show about that game. Like, do
What
it
a
again.
game!
And I know Nintendo will
Oh,
say, well, ARMS is our boxing. No, fuck that. You can do
mm,
ARMS and you can do Punch Out. You can do it. ARMS is
yeah,
good, but it's
100%,
not Punch Out.
100%. Yes, 100%.
Arms is an actual fighting boxing style game, whereas Punch Out is actually more of a rhythm game in a way. It's a pattern recognition game, and that it's so simple and yet so devious to master. It's such a great
Bro,
game.
Punch Out Wii was
Punch Out Wii is great. So Rush Dog says Switch will
what a
need a
game!
launch killer app, and Pokemon would
Yeah,
be a great candidate, and that's true. But if they can get it done, like God, Pokemon would be Pokemon, Mario Kart,
but
3D Mario. Nowadays didn't used to be, but 3D Mario now after Odyssey. Now again, I'm not convinced that 3D Mario. I'm not convinced. We've had one system selling 3D Mario game in its entire history. I'm not
I
convinced
think
that the next
yeah,
3D Mario can sell systems. But if anybody can do it, it's Nintendo because Odyssey was fucking great.
I don't disagree with him at all that yeah, like a launch title Pokemon would be friggin' insane. But like I don't see them doing it, to be honest with you,
I'm
because
kind
it's
of with you on that, just because I know
yeah,
it's
I know what you mean.
the timeline doesn't add up sadly because
Yeah,
you got Arceus CX going on. And again,
dude,
Game Freak, I promise you, Game Freak is not capable of splitting forces and working on two at once. They can barely make one
I
functioning
feel
game
like
at a time.
you almost have a better chance of, and I'm not even talking about Mario. You almost have a better chance of a 3D Donkey Kong than a new Pokemon at launch, like in a weird kind of way,
I would love to
because
see
there's
it.
been
And
that's
Rush
been
is right.
rumored.
It would be
Oh,
ideal to throw a Pokemon at launch. I
oh,
just
what?
the
100%,
timing,
100, like not
the
even, yeah,
timing.
not even. I don't disagree with them at all. It's just I feel like that's like I don't know, man. I just don't see it happening. Would I love it? Sure.
Unless maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe if they have they really supercharged their hiring? Like if they've hired like 50, 60 people, but I
I
think
don't.
we would have heard about that.
I don't think.
I don't
Yeah,
think they
that's the
have.
thing.
Yeah.
I think the Arceus team is like wasn't that big of a team, right? I mean, Rush, you're gonna pop out with a factoid, so I don't know. You
Well,
could correct me here,
that's
man.
why that's the thing with Rush Dog. Always count on the fact that
You know,
maybe you're missing something.
yeah, maybe there's something I'm missing, bro.
And
I just
so
don't.
yeah, the timing. The main thing that I'm having trouble with is ZX is in development. Game Freak
Right,
can barely pop out one functioning game at a time.
right.
There's
That's
no way they're
exactly
splitting their team up to work on the next game and ZX at the same time.
right.
Not Game
There's
Freak. If it was anybody
there's
else, I would say possible.
yeah.
This
There's
is
too much of a
Game Freak.
gamble. Yeah, because they know that the Legends series hit with the older audiences again, and I think that they know that's the money. Like, let's just keep it real. That's the
But
money.
again,
So
maybe there was a hiring blitz. Maybe they've doubled their team size.
maybe.
Xenoblade did that. Maybe
I mean,
Monolith
I'm
Soft
gonna
is
tell you.
helping out. It's possible.
I think Monolith Soft's apparently working on a new game. So like,
Yeah,
what is
they
that
offer
gonna be?
well they offer support too. They were I know Monolith Soft actually
Dude,
kind of helped with Scarlet Violet and they helped with Zelda
that
Breath of the
was
Wild. So
that was something I talked about in that video.
yeah,
Yeah, they worked on Zelda, Animal Crossing. I mean, they're everywhere.
Monolith
They're
Soft is probably Nintendo's best acquisition pound for pound.
they're gonna be like in the future they're the team that you need to look at because they've been
Fuck
around
yeah, man.
so long. They're the ones that make the I hate and I'm not trying to poop on your loved franchises, but the Xenoblade games feel like a modern they feel like something that'd be on like a PlayStation. I hate to say that, but that's kind of the truth. Or like PC or something. That's just how they
I
felt to me when I played.
Here's the thing, like on the Nintendo Wii, I'll never forget playing booting up Xenoblade Chronicles 1 for the first time on
Okay.
Nintendo Wii. And just being like, wow, this is on the
Yeah.
Wii. This is on that little souped up GameCube. Is basically
Yeah.
what it was specs wise. Like,
Yeah.
I can't believe this game is on the Nintendo Wii. I remember thinking that. I heard similar people do the same thing. I didn't have the Wii U, but people said, I can't believe they shoved this Xenoblade Chronicles X. Barely, by the way. They barely did it. I can't believe they shoved this on Wii U. I can't believe they managed to do this.
I told Switchboard Sam this. You should have him on here actually, because he seems like a good dude.
Yeah. Let him know. Let him know. Say, hey, I got a show for you, and I'll reach out to him.
I don't know. I haven't talked to him in a bit, but I told him I have a really hot take about Xenoblade Chronicles X because I bought the collector's edition for my birthday. So I'm gonna make a video about it. But that, I will say this, that was an ambitious as hell game. Ambitious, man.
It's huge.
Dude, it felt like they were making it for like another console again. And I'm sorry, I hate to be that guy, but when I play their games, I'm like, are we sure this is on a Nintendo platform? Like, what's going on here?
It's impressive. It's very impressive stuff.
It's, dude, Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I never shut up about it. It's my number 2. It is one of the best games I have played in like 15 years. It is incredible. I loved it from start to finish. I cried at the end of it. I admit it. I loved it. I put over 100 hours into this effing game. It is so good. I can't believe how good it is.
Well, I played Xenoblade. I played Xenoblade 1 and 2. I am going to end up going to 3, probably by next year at the earliest, at the latest.
I have to, yeah.
Looking very much forward to it from what everybody, because you're not the only one that says that. But basically everybody I talk to says that somehow 3 ends up being the best of the series.
I'm so annoying. How annoying am I? Sorry, guys.
No, you're not annoying. No, you're fine. No, you're showing off your collection. That's fucking gamers love to do that.
Well, I'm talking to you. I don't. Yeah. So
let's see. So we've got Rush Dog says a Switch 2 3D Mario launch title feels like a given. Yeah, I think that is a given. I think we're absolutely Nintendo has not been the 3D Mario team has been not doing anything, quote unquote, which means they're working on.
Well,
yeah, that's what that means.
When I showed up on an episode of yours a while back, and I said, and there is a, I don't know if it's deconfirmed. There was a rumor that they were working on a 3D Donkey Kong. That's why I'm saying, what the hell is it? Is it a Mario? Is it a Donkey? I don't know what's going on.
If they did a Donkey Kong at launch, that's a mistake. And the reason for that is Donkey Kong just doesn't move what Mario moves. That's a mistake.
But you're probably you are right.
I'm 100% right about that. But I would love to see a 3D Donkey Kong. I think that'd be interesting.
But something's happening because they got a Donkey Kong theme park. I mean, I'm sorry guys, but something Donkey Kong's gonna happen. Like,
for sure, they got a theme 100%. Like, I'm glad you bring up the theme park because the theme park. Look, he's not wrong, guys. Look to the theme park to see because that's cross marketing. That's cross marketing 101. If they put out some kind of theme park thing, you can look for a project that's going to be on the gaming horizon. Because Nintendo is doing with the theme parks and the museum the same thing that they did with their mobile games, which is the mobile games lead you into the actual software, which is on the Switch or on the 3DS or on the Wii U. They're going to do that with the museums and the movies and the theme parks are going to lead you to the software. Absolutely.
It's casuals. I mean, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. It's the casual audience. Everybody knows who Donkey Kong is. They're going to go see Donkey Kong World and be like, all right, I'm going to go buy the next game. And then they're going to be like, wait, there's no new game? It's just how it is.
Yep, and they'll probably do a movie. That's how Nintendo operates. Yep.
Donkey Kong, I mean, I hate to be like a hater here. I think I'm more excited for the Donkey Kong World, to be honest with you. So, I don't know. I'm all about Donkey Kong. I love Donkey Kong.
I also love Donkey Kong. So, 100% love Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Also, have you noticed Switch 2 talk has died down after that last direct? Yeah, thank God. I've been saying for a long time, I get so sick of the fucking Switch 2 talk. It's been going for literally 5 fucking years now.
I want to ask you a question. Have you noticed Nintendo-centric YouTubers right now are really struggling?
Yes.
They're like, what's on the Switch 2? What's coming out for the Switch 2? what's the Switch 2 going to be like? What's this? Switch 2. It's like every Switch 2, and it's like, bro, like, we have nothing. There's nothing here. You're just theory crafting, and
Yeah.
it's like you're pulling the hair out.
Yeah.
It's like just. This is why I'm happy I didn't go Nintendo centric, because I can't do it.
Well, and here's the amazing thing, and maybe it's just because my slow ass literally takes months to write reviews, but it's not like the Switch doesn't have content to mine from. I've got 450 plus games to review for the Nintendo Switch.
God.
450 plus physical games, yeah, for the Nintendo Switch.
God, this is it.
So I could go my entire life without making a fucking Switch 2 video.
That's amazing.
Like, I don't get it. I don't get the Switch 2 videos. They used to piss me off. They don't anymore. They used to make me mad. And the reason why they used to make me mad is because I watched it happen with the Nintendo Wii, where there was this gigantic gaslighting campaign. Literally started like the second year of the Wii, being like, oh, can't wait to see what Nintendo's next system is. Like, literally undercutting and rumoring about the next system, etc. And so the question I asked Nate, Nintendo Prime, is, hey, buddy, how many sales do you think that your fucking theory crafting cost Nintendo? How many Switch sales do you think you cost? How many people, because of your videos, are like, hey, I think I'll wait for the Switch 2 for 5 fucking years?
I feel like you right now you have, and I'm not. This is not a slight, because I think people are amazing and creative and whatever. But
I like Nintendo Prime, but I think he did damage there. I do.
Yeah, I don't watch him, but like I watch like other Nintendo YouTubers, and I'm like, okay, guys, like this is gonna be kind of a moment for you where you have to kind of challenge yourselves a little bit, and also like, okay, if you're gonna do a Switch 2 video, it's really gotta be different. It can't just be the same crap that and it's tough, man.
But I want you to think of the psychology, and I want you to think of collectively, not just Nate, not just Nintendo Prime, but all of them. RGT85, even Player Essence from on occasion. All of those guys collectively are Review Tech USA. What is the every single fucking media, every single major gaming outlet? Think about what the collective consequences of literally talking about how there's a new Switch coming anytime. And this started in 2018, bro.
Yeah, dude.
How many sales did they cost Nintendo with this fucking bullshit? It's a genuine question. I don't know the answer, but I'm telling you, it's not zero.
I mean, you know this. I mean, people talk about it all the time. The algorithm loves Nintendo and lists on YouTube. That's what it is. It's not a secret. It's not a mystery. Everybody does it. I've done a couple of them now since coming back to YouTube. And unfortunately, a lot of these bigger channels that are Nintendo are chasing that constantly.
Yeah.
And I agree. Like, all right, guys, like after a while, it's like, how many effing times can you talk about the Switch 2, bro? It's like,
yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not saying that any of them are setting out to hurt the Switch. Yeah, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying that the collective consequences of your actions is that you cost Nintendo some Switch sales. You certainly cost them software sales, because if I was going to buy a Switch in 2018 and I listened to fucking RGT85 tell me, hey, Super Switch is coming, hold your horses.
Yeah.
And I don't buy my Switch until 2023, there is missed software opportunity that entire time that Nintendo did not get. Bro, you fucking cost them sales. I promise you did.
Yeah, probably did, but I mean, it's more.
It ended up okay. It ended up okay. I mean, the Switch is gonna pass.
It's annoying. Like dude, I remember like last year, I think like early last year, somebody started a rumor that we were getting like Switch 2 like presentations.
Yeah.
And then it just kept trending on X. And then I follow like all the Mega 64 guys. They're just like, they make videos and podcasts, and they're like, can we like stop talking about the Switch 2? Like, I'm like, one of them was like, I am so sick and tired of it. And I'm like, that's how I feel. Like, I almost don't like, it's gonna happen. It's gonna be cool. Let them cook. Like, I don't need. Yeah. It's cool. Just relax. Like,
well, the running joke I used to do when this was at its peak is anytime, like OJ will tell you, like he laughed about it. Is anytime they would make a Switch 2 video, I'd go in their comments. I'd say, that's another 3 days. So the joke was that every time you fucking mention the Switch 2, Nintendo, just to fucking spite you, is gonna put 3
Bro,
days on it. Which, by the way,
there's gonna
means keep on doing it, guys. You're never gonna see the Switch 2. You're never gonna see it because every time you mention it, it's 3 more days.
and now there's like legitimate source people that are most of the time they're right are like saying that they might move it up now because, and I'm like, yeah, because if I'm Nintendo, I'm annoyed. I'm just like, F you guys.
Yes,
We're putting this at
out of
now so you
spite.
can shut up about it. I'm always
Um,
wondering if that's the logic now.
well, I mean, it's a joke, of course, because they're not gonna. Nintendo's gonna move when they want to move. It's not gonna be based on spite or
They'll
anything
wait it.
else.
Yeah, they're gonna
But
probably wait until next year.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but I
I'm
just
with
want to
you. I
point
agree.
out, time converts more than reason. Monster, I was always that guy. I was always that guy that said, "Hey, see you in 2025 for the Switch 2."
But
I was
I'm
that
not gonna
guy.
lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. If they're like, yo, late September, they show this thing off, and then they're like, all right, boys, it's coming out in April and May. Shut the hell up. Okay, like cool. You shut
Yeah,
us up.
I'm still right. I'm still fucking right. It's 2025.
Yeah.
I told all these fucking
Oh,
people that. I told them.
yeah. Yeah.
And
What?
by the way,
What?
it's not like I'm a psychic or I can squeeze the goat's
Yeah.
testicles and fucking read the fortune.
Oh,
You know what happened? I read I read their fucking shareholder shit. You know what they told their shareholders? The Switch is a 10-year lifespan. You know what you can't do? You know what you can't do legally in Japan and North America? Lie to your shareholders. If you say
yeah. And
something to your
like,
shareholders, it is fucking set in blood. It is written in blood.
yeah,
Or they sue
absolutely.
you.
And
Or they sue you.
you have so many different factors going on in the world. Like, why are they gonna pump out a console right away? Like, they're working on it.
Well,
Just let them cook.
that's the other thing I talk about. If you want to talk about
Yeah. No, I agree with
the
you.
macroeconomic headwinds, the geopolitical headwinds, it's a bad time. It's a bad time. Ask Sony, ask Microsoft. Right
Bro,
now is a
bro,
bad
wait,
time.
wait. We got. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a dick.
No,
The PS5 Pro. Like, are you trying to bomb? Are you trying to eat crap? Like, that's another one where I'm like, what are you? What now? I'm sorry. Anyways, yeah.
putting
So
out the
it's
PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X in 2020 might have been one of the worst decisions I've ever seen. In the middle of a
oh,
fucking
dude,
in the middle of a fucking
dude,
pandemic and a
my
part supply
friend said,
shortage.
dude, my friend said that, and he pre-ordered it like begrudgingly, and he's like, dude, honestly, like, I don't know why I pre-ordered it because that first year was such ass, and I'm like, yeah. I mean,
There
now
was a
obviously we all,
supply shortage of everything. Everything.
bro, but
Discs, parts for the systems, graphics cards.
yeah,
Like
it was.
I could have
Bro,
told him that. That's the thing, Monster. I could have told him that shit. Because what I said, not only do you have a bad economy right now, the economy just fucking lurched in 2020.
yeah, yeah.
You've got a supply shortage
The
because the
supply
factory,
chain.
oh yeah, the supply chain is
Yep.
broken. You've
What
got
was it like?
record Bitcoin
Yep.
mining. All of the graphics cards are being used on fucking shitcoin. All of them.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
get a graphics card. You could not get a graphics
I
card in
have
2020.
I have a I have a buddy. I hope he's not watching this. And I remember
Oh, I
Jay
hope he
might have
is.
actually been.
Please let me educate him
Jay
on
was
shitcoin.
Jay. Jay, if you're still here, you might be in bed. We were at we were out drinking and whatever, getting food, and we ran into him. One of my buddies from high school, and he's like, dude, this was years ago. He's like, you need to get into crypto right now.
No,
Crypto.
no. And
It's like,
here's the
isn't
thing.
that a scam?
The early people made money. They did.
They
But
truly did.
I
I'm
could have
sure he
fucking
did.
told you that like literally anything when you're basing so the problem with crypto, any crypto, is number one, there's nothing backing it. Now
I
people will
gotta get a
say
charge cable.
now people will say there's nothing backing any fiat currency. There's nothing backing any fiat. And it's like, yeah, there is. It's called guns. So crypto has nothing backing it. There's no power dynamic backing it. It is purely up to the speculation and what the market wants to do with it. It is super gambling. Now, all market is speculation and gambling to a certain point, but crypto. Oh no, you're good. But crypto.
My phone is, so I gotta charge it, fam.
No,
Sorry,
you're
guys.
good. But cryptocurrency is super speculation. 100%. Like I've never fucked around with crypto ever. Not saying you can't make money off of it. You can make money off any gambling. You can make money at the casino.
I mean, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I said, and here's the thing. Like, I get it. Like, I saw kind of like the benefits of it and like why people did it, but I just didn't feel comfortable about it, to be honest. And I was like, I don't know, man. And
Nah,
then,
you were smart, because for every millionaire made by crypto, there were 100 million people that got suckered.
Right, and that's my. Oh, this is perfect.
It was literally timing. It's literally a timing thing. Now, people will argue, well, you can say that about any fiat currency or any market speculation. You can, but again, with crypto, you're literally might as well be throwing your dice on a fucking your ball on a roulette table. Might as well be. Whereas with the market, there are certain predictive analytics you can have to decide, okay, yeah, here's where I'm going to invest now. Here's where I'm going to invest later. With currencies, that currency is backed up by military power. That's what currencies are.
Yeah.
In terms of government currencies. With crypto, there's nothing backing crypto up at all. Nothing backing crypto.
It's just, I don't know, bro. It's just something about it I didn't feel comfortable. And so, anyways, I get it. I saw where it was going. Personally, I felt it was going to crash, and then it did. I don't know who made money, who didn't.
I mean, it's crashed like 10 times now. 10 times it's crashed.
Dude, you know my favorite thing about crypto is like all of these like old timey celebrities are coming out with their own currencies. So like Ric Flair and like Hulk Hogan are like, yeah, brother, you gotta get into crypto right now, brother.
Yeah, no, oh gosh, this crypto trigger as a business person and as a market person, crypto triggers the fuck out of me. Like, crypto is so annoying to me. Not to mention, cryptocurrency is literally part of what deprived us of graphics cards for like 3 years. That was cryptocurrency. Yep.
Chips and all that. Yeah, I don't know, man.
It fucked gaming over. It fucked my hobby over. I could go on a tear about cryptocurrency.
No, let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
What's the chat saying? Is everybody bored? I'm sorry, guys.
No, we're good. We're good.
I didn't tell Zoo this. I'm going for a top 5 episode. We're gonna top 5. We're gonna talk about. We're not done yet. We're gonna talk spicy topics. I don't know topics. I don't know what we're talking.
Topping, you have very, very big goals. Topping on a first appearance is kind of hard, but
it's gonna happen. Wait, I'll put the sunglasses. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, but if it happens, it happens. We'll see. If it doesn't, it doesn't. We're gonna have you on for a round 2. I'll tell you, we have great rapport. I guarantee you pass it on the second round at the very least.
Thanks,
next time you're on.
Yeah, no, we're cool, man. I knew it. I was listening. I'm like, oh, me and this guy would 100% get along. This guy's cool.
So I appreciate that. I mean, that's cool. Yeah, I think you're cool as hell too.
Yeah,
so
man.
Rush Dog says Monolith worked on Splatoon 2. They worked on just about every notable Switch game. Yeah.
Yep.
Monolith Soft
Thank you.
Again, probably the best acquisition Nintendo has ever had, pound for pound.
I say this, they have, if you look them up, they're like old heads, and they've been together a long time, and that's what matters. They're together, like they get it, man.
Oh, 100.
And I think a lot of their staff is not entire. Like, I think the other half is pretty young, right? Like, they have a young staff. I don't remember, but I'm telling you, man.
Well, yeah. They've got they're really good at eye and perspective talent. They get talented.
And they worked with Bandai Namco. They worked with Bandai Xenosaga.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they have a pedigree, man. I don't know what I'm saying, but you get where I'm going. It's just keep your eyes on those guys, because I'm telling you, like, there's something big. They're cooking on something big.
I can't wait to see what they do for the new system. That excites me.
Yeah, and I don't think I really don't think it's something brand new. Yeah, it's brand. I think it's brand new. We'll get our Xenoblade Chronicles X remake because everybody's been wanting it. But again, I'm gonna make a video about that because I gotta.
Yeah, I think OJ thinks that's showing up on the Switch too.
I could see it, but it's not. I don't think it's the first thing they're putting on that thing. I think they're gonna be like, "Yo." I think they're gonna put their metaphorical dick on the table And I think they're gonna do something brand. They're gonna put something brand new out, and it's gonna be whatever it is. It's gonna kick ass because that's what they're gonna do. And
I can dig it.
whatever the specs are gonna be for this thing is only gonna improve whatever they're doing because they have somehow they are the one team that has somehow mastered the Switch. I don't know how they did it, what their sorcery is, but it just is what it is.
It's some
There's
strong
always
magic
one
for
guy.
sure.
There's always one team that rises above the others, and it's not necessarily a bad thing because they just help out the other teams and they teach them like this is what we're gonna do and this is how you do this and that. Like they like I said, they've helped out a bunch of games, so it's awesome.
The
It's
only
all
one that comes close is Nintendo EPD, and that's kind of cheating because they literally helped design the fucking system. So
yeah.
they
Well,
know every ounce of how that system works.
and
It,
the same thing is at Sony. You have like Insomniac and Naughty Dog.
yeah.
Those are like the two that always help the other developers out. It's
Mm-hmm.
just how it is.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's beautiful.
everybody's
I love
got
it.
that MVP studio for sure, and yeah,
That's it.
I more and more it's Monolith Soft. Like
I
for
love
Nintendo.
stuff like that. When I see stuff like that, I'm like, all right, my faith has been like restored in like how they develop video games because that's how it should be. If it's always just a lonely island, I don't know, man. Maybe they could help Game Freak out or Pokemon Company or whoever it is.
The Rush Dog says Xenoblade Chronicles was notable in 2012 because console JRPGs were in a lull at that time. No, literally,
Wow.
yeah, they were part of that wave that brought JRPGs back from the fucking brink. Yeah.
Operation Rainfall, bro.
Operation Rainfall, yeah.
We'll drink to that one, baby.
I will always drink to Operation Rainfall.
Yo, you popped for that. You were like, "Oh shit, he knows." Of course, yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, I know. That was awesome. That was fucking
awesome,
dude.
That was like a tear moment. You're like, that's
dude.
I feel
like Operation Rainfall was. In so many ways, it parallels the actual story of Xenoblade Chronicles because that whole story is about bringing a god in a titan and bringing it down and beating fate in order to do it. And so we did that. Nintendo was the titan, and we were like the little homs, and we fucking did it. We fucking made them do what we wanted them to do.
So anybody in the chat who doesn't know, Operation Rainfall was this movement to get these 3 JRPGs to the Nintendo Wii back in the day that they were like refusing to never bring over. So one of them was like Xenoblade Chronicles. What was the other one? Last Story.
It was the Last Story and Pandora's Tower, the 3 that everybody really
Pandora's Tower. And they finally were like, okay, shut the hell up, and they actually did it. And well, look at it now. I mean, it says it all.
Yeah, so, keeping in mind that again, Nintendo of Japan wasn't the true villain there. The true villain of that arc, believe it or not, people are going to not like this, but it's true. I only speak the truth. It's Nintendo of America. It's Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Yeah, Reggie, baby. I don't know.
Reggie had no faith. Reggie had no faith in JRPGs at the time. Now, to be fair, the market said JRPGs weren't selling. They weren't.
Yeah.
And so Reggie's like, those won't sell.
He always gets a love in my book though because he's the reason why Kid Icarus. He's part of why Kid Icarus came back. So I gotta give that man
Reggie. Yeah, you can't. So Reggie, like any CEO or like any executive, it's a mixed bag. They're gonna make good decisions. They're gonna make shit decisions. It's gonna happen. And
I gotta read his book, bro.
I do need to read Reggie's book. It's on my list for sure.
You know he was a pizza man.
Yep, and that's why I like Reggie so much. So I had a similar start. Not pizza. I didn't do pizza delivery, but I worked in a meat department.
You're funny, man.
I was a meat cutter for like 3 years while I was in college. I was by the way, you want to talk about some fucking wild stories. Working back of a fucking meat department. Work with those old school fucking butchers, man. Holy shit. And see right there, I already fucked up because they're like, not a butcher. We don't kill them. We're meat cutters. Like right off the bat, like they're mad about that because those old school meat cutters were something else, man.
Old school meat cutters.
Oh yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. Like I got one for you. This to give you an idea of what I dealt with back there. So I'm back there washing the dishes because if you were the least senior meat cutter, you're washing all the shit down, like because that's just what you did. I was the least one on the totem pole, and so at the time his name was Vince, and he's actually dead now. So God rest, right? Great guy, but he came up. He goes, "Bet you didn't know, college boy, that when you're going light speed or warp speed, you're actually time traveling."
Wow.
And I said, "What?" And he goes,
"Yeah, what the hell?"
Think about it. If you're going warp speed, you're traversing hundreds of thousands of light years in the blink of an eye. But all them people back on Earth, they're all going normal speed. They're going Earth speed. So when you get back from your space mission, you'll be young. They'll all be old. That's time travel.
Damn.
That's a meat cutter. That's a fucking meat cutter. I'm like, God damn. Like,
it's funny you say that because, yeah, that's so funny. I started off with like supermarket, like that kind of job. So that's so funny that you said.
Oh,
that.
wait. She worked in a supermarket. What position? What department?
Oh my god, dude! I was friggin' everywhere. I was
okay.
I started as a porter, then I was grocery, then I ended up being dairy and frozen. I was
okay.
Bro. I was there for you.
So it's so funny. Porter, which is maintenance, started, and then went to
Porter is like cart bitch and like doing the bottle machines for a bunch of crazy folk and cleaning and anything. So doing that,
garbage duty, yep.
Doing that in the winter, and then eventually work my way up, and so I relate. I get it. I talked to all those people. They had some interesting life lessons and things of that nature.
Dude, the most interesting people to this day I've ever worked with were in that fucking grocery store. This fucking day,
weird.
bro. Like there's some wild ass. You had like Tomato Mater, which I'm not even gonna get into that on stream. But yeah, we had our our produce manager we called Tomato Mater, and you're already laughing, so you can already imagine. But yeah, this guy got caught. This guy got pinched doing something with the tomatoes he shouldn't have been doing. And like,
yikes.
Yeah, there's that. There's the cleanup kid that in the meat department that got caught pissing in the drain. They fired him.
Yeah, dude, they used to
because there was a floor drain. So if you've ever been in a meat department, there's a slope to the floor, and there's a drain. And the reason for that is one of the things you're going to do is every night those machines have to be hosed off and cleaned, and then all that meat residue gets squeegeed to the drain. You sweep up the meat crap, you throw it in the bone bin, and then the water and the blood all gets squeegeed into the drain. Well, this kid decided it'd be a good idea to take a piss in that drain, and the manager on duty just happened to walk in like while he was relieving himself in the drain. Yeah, so that the whole department had to be shut down. That was a whole
Gross.
Fucking thing, man.
Holy moly, dude!
Oh yeah, just grocery store stories. I could do a whole fucking stream on grocery stores. Well, I could.
Welcome to the grocery cast.
Grocery cast, yeah. Oh, there's so many good fucking stories.
Live at the groceries.
Yeah, there was his name was Nick. He was our service meat guy. He worked the service meat case, and he had a kid that basically there was a ceiling fan on that was spinning, and it scared him. He was like a little young kid, and so he had come to work and was telling everybody about it. And Vince, who's that same meat cutter, Vince goes in the back. He's like, well, I think I know what's going on. And Vince is like, yeah, it's a ceiling fan that's scaring him. We just need to figure out how to stop it from casting that shadow and get the lights right at the time. He goes, oh no. See, and he comes back with a book, like this little book. And he says, looks like what you have here is a poltergeist. Pretty common, pretty run of the mill. But I hope it's a poltergeist because he's thumbing through the book. He's like, yeah, if you're really unlucky, it might be an Esper.
Holy shit.
And Nick's just looking at him deadpan. He's like, the fuck is an Esper? He's like,
yeah, what the hell are you talking about,
Espers are nature spirits. They control storms and such, you see.
Bro, this
You'll be
guy's
in
playing
big.
JRPGs.
Yeah, no, well, no, he's not talking about like a Final Fantasy VI Esper. This is like, I guess,
Bro,
the
he's
actual
talking.
real world definition of. He's like, yeah, Espers are nature spirits. They
Bro,
control storms and such. So you have one of
he's,
them in your house, you'll be in a lot of trouble. You'll have to
he's
get house insurance.
he's talking about Dragon Quest.
I don't know, but yeah,
He's talking
he
about,
literally said that you have yourself an Esper if you're unlucky. And
oh my god.
it'll
Hey,
storm and
so
rain inside your house.
oh my god almighty, dude. That's awesome. That's so
Fucking
funny, dude.
great. Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god, it's so funny, dude.
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget like the look on Nick's face. Is like, yeah, little, yeah, they're nature spirits. They control storms. He's like reading from a book.
Yeah, you're like, bro, what are you puffed? What's going on, man?
Oh,
Are you sniffing glue? Like,
that guy was wild. That guy was fucking
what
wild.
the hell is wrong with you, bro? Yeah, that's wild.
No,
Yo,
by far, like one of the top 5 funniest people I ever met. We had this other
oh, he
guy that
sounds
worked.
hilarious.
We had this other guy that worked grocery, and
Okay.
basically he would always come up and like it was a constant battle, and customers would have to listen to this, and it was who would win in a fight, Superman or Incredible Hulk. And the meat counter guy and this
Oh,
grocery clerk would literally stand there and have like these epic fucking debates. And I'll never forget CJ being like, "No, let me tell you what would happen, bro. Because what's going to happen is he's going to take Incredible Hulk. Incredible Hulk is a dumbass. He don't know what feet are, and he's going to take Incredible Hulk and he's going to fling him into space, bro. And you can go be mad up there. And so imagine Incredible Hulk flying through space.
So, see, because I'm like a comic book guy, or was,
Yeah,
and so like me and the deli manager, main guy, we had this one guy. He was a huge comic freak,
right.
So we used to talk about this crap all the time. That's so funny that you're saying that, because that's very relatable. It's so, but it's because
I
have
died
nothing
laughing.
going on.
Exactly,
bro. You have you have nothing going on. You're like, F it. Like, okay, Hulk versus I don't know, the Juggernaut, or like
that's what.
I don't know. Like,
and I just
yeah,
I just suddenly pictured like Incredible Hulk flying,
and
hurtling through space, and it just made me so. I died.
This guy had like the most New York, more of an accent than I have, and he's like, bro, he's like, how Jordan would whoop this guy's ass, and like, he just gets so mad. He would just get so mad. It was incredible. He's like, I hate the direction comic books are going. He's like, I get 100 comic books a month. I'm like, so stop buying them. He's like, I can't stop.
Stop.
Like, I have them organized. I'm like, all right, bro. He was really funny. He was a funny guy.
Every yeah, and the same thing with this particular grocery clerk. One of the top 5 funniest people I've ever met.
I hope we're not boring anyone again. I'm sorry.
No, we're fine. If they're bored, they can go. It's fine.
It's so funny, man.
I'm not bored. I'm having a great time. That's what matters.
It's very relatable, though, man, because it's just how it is, man. It's where the mind goes, and it's fun. Like, I mean, I hate to say this, but like Clerks, man, the movie Clerks, like that kind of stuff. It's what it is, man. You just talk about random crap.
I can't believe she sucked 37 dicks. 37? I'm 37? Like, yeah.
I saw him live.
Oh, I bet that was fun.
He did a tour. Kevin and Jay did a tour, the Getting Old tour, in April. So my brother and I went for his birthday, and it was cool,
Kevin
man. He's
Smith
like,
is a fucking treasure.
He's just like, hey guys, remember Clerks? Yeah, man. Like that came out this many years, 30 years ago, or whatever it was. And it's like, he's cool. I know, I love them. I actually really love those guys. So it was cool, man. It was that's what I think of. It's so funny. Yo, did you what the hell was it? Did you see the oh my goodness gracious, I'm forgetting what it was. Did you see the all this limited run game stuff? I know you're always talking about them.
Yeah, I'm always talking my shit about them. So what they do now?
They didn't do anything. I was just curious because like it's crazy. No, it's just one of the because I feel like this year they like opened up Pandora's box for 90s kids. It's like
it definitely.
Like
I'm so jealous. I'm so jealous. I can't spend money.
Last year they were like, yo guys, we're gonna tease Tomba and Gex. And we're like, ugh. And then this year comes out and they're like, we're doing Tomba, then we're gonna do Tomba 2. The Gex trilogy is still coming, And then they're like, we're also doing this random SNK fighting game and Lollipop, like all this, like, well, okay, that's not 90s, but it was just like,
Lollipop
oh man,
Chainsaw, Shadows of the Dam,
oh my
Tomb Raider.
god, I was like, yeah, oh yeah, they are doing Tomb Raider, right? I was like, holy crap, dude, that Tomb Raider is gonna get another release. I'm just keeping it.
It already did. Yeah, it's already been announced, so I'm safe on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part,
But
I can't. I just wish I like limited. That's the thing. I like limited run games. I used to spend probably $1,000 a year with those guys. I just wish they would let me give them money again.
I know you told me the PayPal thing, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a fee. There's a fee. There's like some kind of a PayPal fee. They probably don't want to pay it.
That's probably that makes sense because I can't for the life of me think. I think these aren't stupid fucking people that run that company. Like, why would you do that? That might be why.
Please fact check me on this. I think doesn't eBay own PayPal? Am I wrong? I swore they own.
So I'm trying to think of. So here's what I know about PayPal, and tell me if anybody can fill in the blanks. Let me know. So you have
please.
So founded by Elon Musk and Peter Thiel back in like the 90s.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
I think from there, I think they sold it to eBay.
Right. Okay.
And I think eBay is. I don't know. Now the question becomes. That's where it gets hazy for me. Does eBay still own PayPal, or is PayPal its own thing now? Did PayPal get sold to someone else?
Because I used to use it back in the day, and then I was like, screw this, I'm going to just pay, and if I got to pay, I'll pay it, whatever, a credit card or whatever. But, yeah, I don't know, but I was curious about it because you've been talking, and I was like, I didn't even realize it. I've never really had, I have to tell you, I've been very lucky with limited run. I don't know what that is. Maybe I'm just the chosen one.
I've never had any problems either with limited run.
Yeah.
The main problems that I have are the problems everybody has. So it's not even a problem. Like you plan for it,
right?
And that is that they take a long time to ship. But here's the thing: I have over 450 Switch games to play. I'm not going to be fucking missing those games as long as they show up. It's a win.
Yeah.
That's the only thing they have to do. And there are companies where the games won't even show up. There's games like what is it? Not special guy. I want to get this right before I throw it out there.
Something bit.
Nope, they're okay. It's I'm gonna get it. Give me 1 second here. Let me type in Chained Echoes physical.
Good,
and that is that's gonna be First Press Games. Yeah, First Press Games has never shipped a product to my knowledge. As far as to me, that I've got 2 games. One has been 2 years, and the other is going on 3.5 years. I've been waiting for that game to ship.
What the hell?
Yeah, that's crazy. Crimson Clover World Explosion's been almost 3.5 years.
I'm not sure.
Chained Echoes has been 2 years. It's 2 years now.
Again, I'm ignorant here. Is Chained Echoes an indie game or is that an old game?
It's an indie RPG. Yeah.
I don't know, man. If it's that's a long way, bro. That's
yeah. I wish I had known that when I bought it. Yeah, that's because and again, I don't care as long as it shows up. I don't care.
Actually,
but I'm starting to wonder if it's gonna show up. That's what I'm starting to wonder now. Starting to wonder if y'all aren't gonna go out of business and take my money.
And I kind of like, it's funny, like your buddy Phil, I followed him, Phil Collects, shout out to him. He seems like he seems great. He made a wonderful point, and it's that like PlayAsia is like, yo, I'm over here too, bro. Cheaper, fast shipping.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of the games that Limited Run puts out in the ESRB, they get the exclusive to the English release. And
it's funny,
but the Japanese release will have English on it.
He just posted something today that appealed to me, and I actually jumped on a fighting game, so I was pretty stoked about that because I was like gonna do a limited, and then I was like, I'm good. I got something else coming that I'll talk. Obviously, in the due time, you'll know what it is.
Fucking A, awesome.
It's just, I got something here that you've been mentioning that I'm going to talk about, and you're going to rage when you see what it is. Sweet. I didn't put it on. I'm not telling you what it is. I'm going to let you figure it out.
Well, you got Rush Dog. He says there will be no Switch 2 reveal in 2024. Nintendo won't want to give people a reason not to buy a Switch this Christmas. Probably, I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think we see it early next year. And then
It's yeah. I just to elaborate on what I was saying, I probably should have elaborated. I was listening to I think Jeff Grubb and he said, I don't know if it's happening. He's like, could it happen? Could they just do it? Sure. But like even he was like, I don't know. So I just want to put that out there. Like, I don't think it's happening. It could, no. I mean, sure, but no.
at least they're finally being honest about that, which is like, yeah,
Yeah, so you're
source, we
yeah,
don't know. We made it up. We
yeah,
made it up.
yeah.
By the way, that is something that I feel like we're kind of letting all these people off the hook with, is the fact that there should be a reckoning for the fact that I'm just going to call it out. These fucking quote unquote insiders, they were making shit up the entire time.
Oh yeah, 100%. But
We
that's
should not
isn't
let
that the
that. We
nature?
should not let them get away with that. Y'all were making this
No,
shit up the entire time.
of course. And
It
they'll
was
come up with a different
bullshit the
narrative.
whole time.
They'll come up with a million narratives. Oh, well, someone said this. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
no,
whatever.
source, I made it up. Source, I made it
That's
up.
why I only listen to certain people. Like he straight up is like, listen, I don't really think it's happening. I'm like, okay,
Yep.
there you go. Here's his opinion. Good. That's what I want to hear.
He's tired.
I don't want to hear
Well, he's tired of being embarrassed because he was one of the guys that was like, oh,
yeah.
switch pro, switch to. He's tired of
No,
being
but
embarrassed, and good for him.
I would say I mean, I don't. This is just my opinion. He's got a very nice track record of other things. I'll say that. I don't, and that's okay. That's about it. That's as much as I could. The guy's cool. I like listening to him. But yeah, that's
He's
it. I
not a
don't.
bad guy,
Yeah.
but yeah, he jumped on the bandwagon when he probably shouldn't have
Yes.
jumped on
I
the
think a lot
bandwagon
of.
like everybody
I think a
else.
lot of. Yeah. Because again, it's like, oh, we gotta get to the next thing. It's like, all right, guys, like, just
And
chill out.
again,
Like, it's
I'm not trying to be an asshole about this. I'm not. But when I literally sat and took slings and arrows for years on this, trying to tell people the
Yeah.
truth, and I'm
I
gonna
don't
crow.
know.
I'm gonna crow a little bit to these motherfuckers. I'm gonna crow a little bit. Y'all were fucking
Yeah.
wrong. Y'all didn't have the source you thought you had.
Hmm.
And I'm sorry it worked out that way, but it did. And now I'm gonna crow about it a little bit.
That's why, like, I don't post anything like I'll listen to stuff and I'm like, all right, we'll see what happens. But I'm
Well,
never like, yeah, this is emphatically happening. Like this is happening. Like
well,
I
yeah,
don't.
and not to mention the fact that when you do it, like when I
Yeah.
speculate, I would always say, hey, source, speculation. Entirely speculation, guys. I don't have any
Speculation.
inside
That's it.
sources. I haven't been
That's it,
a
dude.
Nintendo investor for over a decade. I have no inside information. None.
Oh wow. You should.
So
Were you the guy that dressed up as Captain Falcon and asked about F-Zero or whatever that guy
I
did?
was not that guy. I was not that guy, but that is something I may. That's something that maybe I was
Hey,
just.
listen. He got us F-Zero 99. He's a legend.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No,
100%. It's
that is absolutely a Zoo move though.
100% true. Don't care what anybody says. It's 100% his doing because he spent a lot of money to be there.
Yeah.
Can't
100.
believe.
Yeah. 100%. Yeah. To ask that question. Yep.
I can't believe that. I love that. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my god, I love stuff like that.
So Rush Dog
So
says, speaking of crypto, remember when the wider game industry tried to adopt NFTs? LO freaking L. Yep. Yep.
Ubisoft,
All of them. All of them.
mm,
Square Enix,
they're the
Ubisoft, Konami,
Square.
all of them.
Wasn't Square like I don't know if we're gonna do this, and then they're like we're gonna do this or something like wasn't there like some kind of like a quote that came out about that? They're like we
Yes.
don't know if we're gonna actually do this. Yeah,
Yeah,
bunch
and
of
the
idiots like
NFTs thing. Oh God, like Jim Stephanie Sterling put it best. I think they said
that.
something to the tune of, like, they're selling nothing now. They're
Yeah,
literally
it's
selling you nothing now.
my favorite thing is there's like a Twitter page that was dedicated. I didn't follow it. I don't want anybody to think don't read too much into this. But I found that Twitter page that's all about crypto fails, and it was like people that are like somebody stole my monkey art coin or something, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's well. That's why I said I literally joked. I said, hey, I have an NFT right now, and I'm gonna go ahead and I screen capped a picture of Simon Belmont looking up at Dracula. And I
oh
saved
my
that
god.
to my computer. I said, hey, check it out. I have an NFT now. That's mine. Like literally. It's like, yep, that's mine now. That's how fucking stupid that is. It's a fucking screenshot.
Oh my god.
Brick
Is
Barnes
this any
says,
of the super?
go ahead.
Is any of the super retro force in the chat?
I don't see any. I don't see any, but
Um,
because I'm reading all the comments here.
Shout outs to them. They've been like the few that I've talked to and engaged with. They're super nice.
I've had Rad Bash on the show, and I've had Belmont on the show. They're
I'm
both great.
convinced that I'm convinced me and Rad Bash are like variants of each other or something. Like there's some weird.
Yeah, you're like the same variant of human.
Yeah, it's weird because he talks about his love for Kingdom Hearts and then he's rocking a Kirby hat. I'm like, oh, are we like similar? And then Man Belmont's super nice. Great. He retweeted me that was so nice. You didn't have to do that.
Belmont's
good dude.
Great. Belmont's good stuff.
He was cool. His passion like punches you in the face. I love that. I love when people are so like. That's what I like want to do. It's just like, yeah,
he
man,
loves what he does. Yeah, he absolutely loves what he does.
That's the best, bro. You know, it's just if you can. No one's BSing. There's no. It's just. I've been thinking about this a lot lately, so I apologize if I'm getting preachy.
No,
I love. I miss organic. Like I miss organic YouTubers, like in the gaming space. I miss when people could just be very passionate about the stuff they like and not like have to ham it up to the camera. Like I love that. That's the stuff I grew up on with the older YouTube, and then I left for a while, and then I came back, and that's the stuff I love. I just love that stuff.
Me too. That's kind of why I do what I do. My first videos, if you go back to my first videos, it's me reading over fucking screenshots. Like literally.
Yeah, I mean, I don't do videos, clips in my videos really. I mean, I did one for the expo, but all my videos are still images.
I finally learned some editing. I finally learned how to do some fucking editing. And so I can edit video now. I have like 9 reviews lined up. I've got to eventually get recorded.
Put them out.
Yep, I need to.
Can I say one thing to you?
Yeah.
Can I say one thing to you and don't get mad at me?
No.
You need to reorganize your playlist because they're a little confusing. You have it, I think, in reverse order because I can't find the newest ones unless I go to the front page.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll try to figure that out again. I'm terminally boomer brain.
No, it's cool, man. I'm like, I love your stuff. That's why I'm like, brother, like, you gotta just do that one thing. I don't care what I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your channel.
No, you're fine. I appreciate the advice. I would have to figure out how to do that. But I'm sure if I type it into Google, it can tell me how.
It just like change order. There's like an arrow on the top, and then you're like, okay. Yeah, it took me a bit to learn it too, and I'm like, okay, because I'm telling you, like, sometimes I'm trying to find your latest thing, and I'm like, and then I'm like, oh, there it is. But it's on like this weird front slab thing.
Gotcha.
I don't know, bro.
I'll try to figure out how to do that for sure. Again, it can't be too hard.
No, it's you're gonna laugh. You're like, oh, it's like one button. And I just recently just putting this out there for clarity. I just recently did this to myself because I'm like, oh damn, I had old stuff showing where nobody could find the new stuff. So
yeah, which means people are looking at those screenshot videos and be like, what the fuck is this shit? Because that is
funny, man. Yeah, we could save this for another one. I don't care, but like, because I came back to YouTube in like late March, early April.
Yeah,
like I took like an 8-year hiatus, 7-8 year hiatus from YouTube.
It's more common than you think.
I'm learning. I am like I don't know, bro. I'm just learning about some stuff now and new things, and like I did a lot of stuff when I was younger on YouTube. That's all I'm gonna say. And like people could go, oh, you don't have a lot of subs. I'm like, well. Go check out my view count. That's all I'm gonna say. So proof is in the pudding. I did some stuff.
Fuck yeah, man.
It was cool. Yeah, that's it. It's the only time I sound cool, and then they're like, okay, idiot.
Well, if you can sound cool once in life, like you're doing well.
That's it, man. I'm just like, whatever. I don't know. Coming back to YouTube has been like amazing. It's like it's both like creatively super fulfilling,
right?
And it's also like a little disappointing because I have to navigate. I'm trying to navigate the minefield of different people and egos and groups and stuff. So I'm just trying to figure that out.
Right. And again, I don't want to again, I'm not the best person of advice for this, but what I will tell you is the way I do it is I just do my thing and whatever happens, happens. Like
that's it. Yeah.
And part of the fun of that is I'm not going to ever monetize. This is free. I believe in that old YouTube where it was just passion projects. I don't believe in monetizing my shit. My shit is a gift to all my viewers. So one of the things about not trying to monetize is it completely frees and liberates you. I can say whatever the fuck I want. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. I can do my own thing at my own pace, at my own speed. And it doesn't matter. If it takes me a year to get a review out, doesn't matter.
No, That's cool, man. I don't know what I'm doing. I just try to do one every week, and if I can't, due to life or
It's
whatever,
okay.
that's it.
It's okay.
I'm not stressing. I'm doing what I can, and yeah, it's weird, man, that you said that because, like, I started my channel long time ago. I don't even remember the year. It could be 2009, 6. Who the hell knows? But I had monetization at a pretty young age. I earned, back in the early days of monetization. And everybody's like, "Oh yeah, you're doing this, you're doing." It's like, no, it's not what it was all cracked up to be. I was making pennies. I was making
Exactly.
nickels and dimes.
That's the
So
thing.
it's
So,
just
and that's the thing. Like I can tell you, I talk to YouTubers who are at the
yeah.
100K level. I talk to
Hmm.
YouTubers who are at the million level. And I can tell you right now, when does it start getting comfortable? Around the million level.
Yeah, it's
And when
you
I say a million level YouTuber makes
crazy.
about the same as somebody with a mid-salary job in the United States, I'm not kidding you.
That yeah, and again, like
It just
I'm
it just
not. It's
seems
not.
like it would be if that's what I try to tell people. If I was trying to monetize, if I'm trying to make money, it's way
Right.
easier just to go get a salary job. It's way
That's it.
easier.
Yeah,
So I don't
it
think
is.
that anybody, even those people that are successful, I don't think that anybody is on YouTube to make money. If they are,
Yeah.
they're not doing it right. I don't think they're on. I think
Yeah.
they're on here for a passion, and then if they make some money on the side, that's cool too. Because
Yeah. Like
very few
yeah.
people are going to do this for a living, especially in
I
the
think it's a
gaming space when it's red ocean to begin with. You know how many fucking middle-aged white guy motherfuckers like us are doing YouTube and talking about video
yeah.
games.
That's
That is
it.
the reddest
I think
ocean in the world, man.
that's it. And I'm like, it's a blessing if you can do it and you can make a living off this.
Yeah.
And I hope people enjoy it. I
No,
don't know, but
if I make one person smile and I meet a few good friends along the way, this has done its job.
that's it. Yeah, like I think that's the biggest problem is like I've come back. It's almost like I'm a man at a time, and they're like, "Who the hell is this guy?" And I'm like, "I'm not chasing anything. I'm not
Yep.
trying to do anything. I like you. I vibe with you. I want to be your friend." And it's tough to navigate
Yeah.
that, especially on social
Every once in a
media.
while, you have a weird bald guy that fucking does a call out video against you,
Yeah,
and
me.
it's
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about like totally bald and wandering around like a hobo on the streets of Tampa, Florida, that
nah,
likes to do call out videos, and he's like cussing
is
you
that
and yelling at you. Oh, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. Um,
I had a kid call me out when I was younger, but I destroyed him. But that's because I
that's
was a kid.
hilarious.
I
No,
was a good kid.
this is some crazy
Tech dude.
homeless guy that he's too, like honestly like it's like your call out video might be better, buddy, if you weren't so busy like hucking like dodging traffic and
You
trash
know,
being hucked at you out the windows.
my
Like this might be better. Just saying.
my thing is it's just like I when I came back to YouTube, my number one like promise to myself was like, okay, like I'm gonna be like the most genuine, authentic version of myself. Like I'm not saying the version of me that you saw when I was younger wasn't me, but I was also like young and I was going through a lot of crap and I was learning things. So you definitely had an element of me where I was a lot brasher and angrier and whatever. And now it's
Of
like F
course.
that. Like
Well,
if I'm angry, I'm
you're not
angry.
even the same person you were back then.
No,
You
I'm an
know that
adult now.
every 7 years, every cell in your body is completely new. Every
Oh
7
yeah.
years. Every 7 years, your body regenerates. There's not a single cell in your body left of you that was that person. You
Yep.
were a new,
Yeah.
you were a different person on a cellular level.
My doctor told me that actually.
Mhm.
But no, and so like it's that's it. It's just and I like I'm trying to even though a lot of these guys are more successful at this than I am, I'm trying to pay it forward. I'm trying to retweet. I'm trying to show love. I'm trying to get into people that I like. And like, yeah, does it? I'm a human being. Like sometimes it frustrates me because it's like some of these guys aren't. There's some people that I've been retweeting forever, and they're like, "Who the hell is this guy?" But it is what it is. Like I can't force you to do that. I can't force you to do a damn thing. You people, everybody's got their own thing going on. They're going through their own life story. They got their own. I get it. I just want to be friends and cool with people, and like
Mhm.
hopefully people are like, all right, this monster guy's not an asshole. I mean, I can be an asshole, but that's beside the point. So it's just like that's really it. I'm just trying. I've been pretty thankful for a lot of stuff that's happened to me in the last few months. It's been crazy, bro. Like something happened when I came back, where like things started turning up Millhouse. You remember that quote or whatever from The Simpsons?
Yep.
Some stuff just started happening for me. Now, again, I'm not gonna say that I don't have shitty weeks, and they're like, "What's going on?" or "I'm not feeling it" or whatever. But I've been talking to more people, getting more people that notice me. It's just been really nice, man. More of my real life friends are seeing the videos now, which has been really interesting because I got kids now. So it's
Nice.
been really neat, man. It's been a real, like, I hate to sound cliche, but it's been like a full circle.
Awesome. Well, that's good to hear. And
Dude,
again, that means the world when you can actually get like your in real life people to fucking watch your shit. Believe it or not, that's harder.
That's
harder. That's harder than it sounds, guys. I promise. So
it's
that
your,
alone
big,
is a victory.
your biggest critic will always be you, and I'm an overthinker, so I
100%. Yeah.
I
So
watch my videos and I always dissect things. It's too much. I'm like, all
see,
right. Sometimes I just put yeah.
it's hard for me to
Sometimes
rewatch my videos because I still am not used to the sound of my own voice. It's so weird sound. It sounds so different when I listen to my voice. Like it's so weird sounding. Like do I sound like that? The answer is yes. So
You sound like you're gonna put on some boots and start kicking butt.
my voice sounds alien to me when I hear it.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
man. What's up?
it's like that's a first. But then Brooke Barnes says I had nothing to do with crypto. I didn't even know what it was back then. Good, keep it that way. Keep it
Dude,
that
this
way.
crypto stuff is hilarious.
Keep it that way.
Just
Rush
keep it
Dog
that
says
way.
now it's AI that is depriving us of graphics cards. Yeah, that's a whole nother fucking thing.
Rush. What are you? Rush is trolling hard tonight.
Generative AI, man. But yeah, it's
Rush, stop.
So
Bro,
then,
did you watch? Hold on. Did you
yep.
watch? Do you watch Marvel? Do you watch Marvel stuff?
I used to. I fell off Marvel a
Okay.
long time ago.
Secret Invasion is terrible. Don't watch
Okay.
it. But the intro to Secret Invasion is all AI, and it looks so jarringly bad. You're like, and they
So
thought it
Rush
was
and I have
cool.
we have a running conversation about how AI the future is going to be, right?
Oh God.
And so my whole thing is I do think that there's going to be some AI being utilized. Rush thinks it's overplayed, and in particular with the generative AI. And
Yeah.
he thinks it's overplayed and it's going to go away once companies realize that actually it's not
No.
really doing anything for them, like except annoying everybody.
I don't know if it's gonna go away, but it's not where. God, I'm not an expert. Please don't like clip this through them.
It can't even make a
I just,
hand with 5 fingers. Like
it's just not
anytime I
at the.
see a picture, I look at the fingers. I'm like, is that AI? Oh, yep, it's got 4
Yeah,
fingers. That's AI.
it's just not at the place that it needs to be,
Mm-mm,
and I
it's
think
not.
by the time we're all dead is really where it's gonna go wild. But I will say that the vocal stuff is the stuff that scares me because that's the stuff that's how do you sanction it? How do you I don't even I don't even my
That's
father's
wild. Yes.
I sound like my father. My father's always like, "Do you understand what could happen here? It could be a war." I'm like, dude, I can't even think about it.
The voice stuff though, because here's the thing, it's not perfect. You can tell it's AI, but I did watch like it was U.S. presidents ranked the Mass Effect companions, and it's like
Oof.
three United States presidents like having a whole ass conversation about whether Garrus or Tally is S tier as far as a
That's
companion goes, and I'm like, holy shit, they do sound really good. They really do sound really. There, you can tell there's cadences that you can tell it's not them, but
yeah.
the fact is it's true
Some
that like if you talk about like people that are in the public eye, whether it's political figures or celebrities or musicians, like they
yeah.
have said enough things in public to where an AI algorithm has their
Yep.
entire speech basically. You could
Dude,
literally
it's
produce anything you wanted with people that are in
yep.
the spotlight with their voice. Anything. They've said everything. They've said every English word. They've said every word that you could possibly say in English, and the AI has it.
It's
So what do you
sorry, I'm
do
just
with that? Now that's a good question. Is what the fuck do you do with it?
that's what I'm saying. It's like that scares me more than like some dude on the internet making like hentai or whatever. I don't know. It's like, bro, like that's the stuff that freaks me out. It's like, you ever hear like those fake songs that trended on YouTube about like all the mess 40 songs? It's just like that stuff freaks me out, bro. Because that's the stuff that's like the average Joe ain't gonna know it's fake, you know?
Yeah, no,
So
I
I don't
mean, and
know.
again, this is it's still rough. It was still rough, but the question is, give it 5 years.
That's right.
And what
And
is
then
it
I
going to
think
sound
AI.
like? And then what if? And then here's the thing: what if it wasn't like these three
Yeah,
presidents talking about Mass Effect squad mates? What if they were talking about something serious? And then people get the
dude.
wrong impression. Like that's the thing. There's some scary stuff that comes with that. Like,
Bro, that's.
yeah, like suddenly they're talking about a war or something, and now the other
Have
country
you ever
thinks
heard
that
of
they're
this
saying
guy?
that.
You ever heard of this guy, Bithead? Bithead, like 1,000, I think his name is. He's a 47-year-old Long Islander, like me. Well, he's a Long Islander like me,
Okay.
and he films videos in his shed. He's an old arcade head, and he builds console. He's just like he's a mechanic. He's just really cool, and he goes into his shed, and it's like a comedy act. He bitches about his life, talks about everything, and then he talks about old games. And he's like, "Have you guys seen this AI lately?" He's like, "The movies that these things are gonna create are gonna blow your freaking mind." Like, if you get that guy on your show, dude, you'll be laughing the entire
Okay.
show. He
Yeah.
is so
I'll
funny.
talk to anybody. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know if he doesn't. I don't. He doesn't know me already. I just watch. I'm not gonna lie. Some of the stuff he says is a little out there because he's like older, but like he's really like he's so funny, bro. But like the way he was
Yeah.
talking about it, I'm like, he's not wrong. Like it's creepy, man.
There's
It's
some
really
wild
gonna be
stuff for
scary.
sure. For sure.
When it takes off, it's going to be real scary and it's going to be hard to stop it. So I don't know what you do. I don't know. And I told you I was a visual arts guy, and that scares me too because I'm very concerned about the industries. I don't like this idea that they're trying to push this crap. They could barely get it to work, and then you have all these amazing, talented artists that are going to just be thrown out. It's like, bro,
Right.
like what are we doing here, bro? I mean, that's just my thought on it, though. I don't
No,
know. I'm not an expert.
I share your concerns for sure. Like, yeah, it's
It's
how
very
is it going to
scary.
impact gaming? How is it going to impact the world? Like, and again, maybe
Yeah,
we get lucky and like Rush Dog says, at least the generative AI is just a big money
yeah.
sink that they eventually get rid of. You know, that would be.
Maybe I don't.
But again, we'll see.
You opened up Pandora's box,
Yeah.
and I don't know, bro. Like you could be right. Rush, you've been saying a lot of smart things tonight, but I'm like, I don't know, man. I just don't know. Like I don't
Yeah,
have it.
he's like, I hope you're right, but yeah, it's
I hope you're right, bro.
so.
Hope you're right, but if not, we might be screwed.
So Rush Dog says topping on a work night is hard too. He's going to get close. He's certainly getting ready to clinch the record for first time. For first
Why?
timers.
Why? What
Um,
did I do?
talking about
Huh?
topping the record on a work night is hard too. He said. Um, he
Oh,
said, speaking of
yeah.
MVP Studios, how crazy is it that Retro Studios just about sat out the entire Switch generation? Very. Yeah, we got nothing. Like, it's going to be Metroid Prime 4. Like that's. And again, I am a conspiracy theorist on this particular issue. I think we were getting a third 3D Donkey Kong Country game
We were.
before
We were.
Sakamoto got booted
We
off
were.
Metroid Prime 4 and Retro got put
We
back
were.
on it because it was in bad condition.
I saw it on like Go Nintendo
Yep.
or something. There's an yeah, it was gonna happen
Yeah,
because it just had
they got emergency reposition for Metroid
Joe.
Prime 4.
You know what's kind of hype if you've never thought about this? This is just a dorky thing. Do you
What's that?
realize if they ever do another Donkey Kong, be it 3D or a country game, do you realize that like King K. Rool is totally coming back?
I
Do you realize that
again, I really hope so because the Kremlings, I think the
the,
Kremlings are with Rare, and so there's a
the
rights
creme,
negotiation. Yeah, Kremlings are owned by Rare, but
but
I think it could be
dude,
done. Microsoft is starting to work with Nintendo more and more.
I
I
I
think something could be negotiated there. I do.
I thought that they own the Kremlings and they don't own the K. Rool something. Like there was, I think it's the opposite. No,
Could
because
it
the
be?
Kremlins.
I mean, again, I'm not sure. It's one of them's
Dude,
right, but there's
do
something
you know
stopping them from coming back.
Do you realize that's somebody that's gonna sell like people know who that is. Like that's gonna be sick.
And
If
here's the
I
thing:
was thinking,
we already know it can happen because it happened for Smash Brothers Ultimate.
I mean, come on, and he had a figurine. I mean, it's
Yep.
done. Come on.
And again,
He was in Mario
Microsoft
Brothers.
is open. Microsoft is open to working with Nintendo.
Something,
They
yeah,
don't view them as
something,
competition. So
something's gonna happen. Yeah, I'm so excited for like whatever Donkey Kong they're gonna do. I feel like it's gonna do them. I don't know
fuck yeah.
why. I'm almost more excited for that than in Mario. It's weird.
Oh yeah,
I
everybody has
love
their
them.
thing. And again, my excitement for Mario is like gone at this point. Like I have come to terms with the fact that Nintendo does not understand why
Dude,
Mario is popular. They don't understand.
bro, I get more excited for God, I've been on like a weird journey with Mario. I had like a Mario hatred period and
Oh,
like
me too.
I
Trust
love
me,
I love the Mario RPGs. Like I love those games.
they're good.
Those
They're
are so
yeah.
they're good. I mean, I love Paper Mario, like the old Paper Mario. Like that new one, I know it's 30 FPS, but god damn, it's a good game. It's a
Yeah,
good
Thousand Year
remake,
Door
man.
is really good.
Yeah, stuff like that. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, bro. Maybe Retro's got something cooking. Maybe they got a smaller game. You never know. You
Yeah,
know,
again,
could be
Nintendo does like
cooking.
to surprise us out of nowhere. So, Rush Dog says the
I
last story in Pandora's Tower weren't published by Nintendo in North America. It was Xseed. Ah, okay, so that was
oh,
just
good.
Xenoblade. You know what? Still worth it.
Okay, hey Rush, do you think one of those gets a re-release? I feel like that's coming. That's something I feel like is gonna happen.
I mean, I would like to see that, but Xseed kind of scares me because they've been real bastards with the Trails games. They've been
Bro,
real bastards with those.
I think I'm the only guy on the internet that's hyped for Farmagia, and I feel like they gave up on it. Like I don't their marketing for it has been really bad. I mean, they
Oh,
did a
yeah.
convention with cosplayers, and I'm like, that's really what
Xseed is.
I,
I don't
I
know,
don't know
man.
what's going on. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, they've been silly. Yeah.
I like that they split the branding up. Some people were like, "Why are they doing this?" I'm like, "Because the regular folks, including me, I get very confused by who's doing what at that company.
Right.
Just
Yes.
get it. Look, and if you're trying to push trails or whatever it was, uh, you got to make that distinction so people know going forward what's going on. And that's smart. I think that's smart, actually.
All right. I'll be right back real quick. I'm going to go do some business real quick. I'll be right back.
All right, bro.
Entertain them.
I I wish I had more to drink. I ran out of my. I got to drink some more. It's Hey guys, I apologize. I'm not going to be able to see the chat. So, I don't know. What do you want to talk about? Maybe I could take a look at the chat and then I'll turn into John Cena for a minute, see what's going on. So don't be mad at me, okay? Where is it? Oh boy, John Cena. I don't know if you guys can even still hear me. Let's see. Black Friday sale. What the heck is that? Oh, okay. Rush Dog. MVP Studios. Oh, good question. I'm sure stuff like Biden Kaidos has come back, so anything is possible. Yeah, I see. That's what I'm wondering too, man. It's like they're putting out some really interesting stuff again, like some real obscure, weird. Let me get back on camera. They're putting some weird. There you go. They're putting out some weird, obscure stuff again, like Biden Kaidos. I actually want to pick that up and just check it out. I'm just afraid that if I pick that up, I'm not going to play through the whole thing. Like I might get. I don't know. Card stuff frustrates me, but I always wanted to try that game. So it's like this weird. Maybe I'll grab it. But yeah, dude. I don't know. I have this weird feeling like Pandora's Tower or the Last Stories. One of those is coming back. I don't know why. I
Be
just get this
cool.
weird impression. Yeah.
So, Rush
Dude, and I
Dogs,
told you.
yeah, Rush Dog says, good question. Obscure stuff like Bot and Kaidos has come back, so
Yeah.
anything is possible.
That's
Yep.
what. That's what I was saying, and I told you before. I think FromSoft should bring back Lost Kingdoms. Like,
Oh, I
effing
would
do that.
love to see that. Lost Kingdoms. I'm going to be doing, when we get off of here, I'll probably do a quick deep dive on Lost Kingdoms. I'm just very curious about it. That's the first time I've
I
even
think
heard of
you
that
would.
fucking thing.
Yeah, I think you dig it, man. It's really interesting. It's got limitations. Like it's very strict in how you set your decks up, and it got hard. That's all I remember. Like I want to play it again and see if I was like a baby, but it was pretty tough. And then 2 is rarer, but I think 2 is not as well received as 1 is.
Right. So
2 came out. Yeah.
so before we get off of here, I gotta ask you. So you're as a Kirby fan, boy, you're eating about as good as Kirby fans have ever eaten. Forgotten
Yeah.
Land, man. Let's Give me your take on Forgotten Land. I gotta hear it as a Kirby fan.
Top Kirby in the Forgotten Land is a top 5 Kirby game of all time.
What are your top 5?
Oh gosh. Okay, of all times, it's gonna be kind of basic. It's like Kirby's Dream Land 2. Geez Louise, hold on. Superstar Ultra.
Okay.
I think that's the one on the 3DS.
Mm-hmm.
And Forgotten Land, and what's the other one? There's one more. Hold on, I'm looking at my collection.
No, you're good.
Give me 1 second. It might be. I might give it. It's either going to be Triple Deluxe or Robotot. It's going to be one of those. I don't know. I don't know which one. The 3DS and those Kirby games are incredible.
I thought they fucking nailed it with Forgotten Land, with like the whole abandoned civilization style deal. I thought they fucking nailed that. That was so good.
Yeah.
They did such a good job with it.
Yeah.
Also, it's probably going to be the first Kirby game since Kirby's Dreamland on the Game Boy. Probably going to be the first Kirby game that, with macroeconomics factored in, outsells the OG Kirby game. It looks like it looks like it's going to do it. It looks like it's actually going to do it.
I think it's going to do it. I just love how long it took them to get a 3D proper Kirby game right, and it's just amazing to me how far the franchise has come. Like I'll be real with you. Sometimes I've been watching some old stuff I made. I did a video when they did Kirby's anniversary on the Wii, and I did a whole thing about it. And it was a bigger video.
Still one of the best collections ever, by the way.
What? Oh, dude. I remember when they announced that, and they were like, "Oh yeah, like we're putting all of the Game Boy games on it that like aren't on the Wii." I was like,
them.
"What?" Yeah. And there's like GameCube controllers. Oh,
that was a great collection.
But yeah, Forgotten Land, I just love it. I think they nailed it. And then there's an after game that's even more challenging, and it's like they made it too difficult. Like I talked about that in a video.
Yeah,
they made it too hard. So I don't know, man. I love that freaking game. It's so good, man. I think that's a must-own for the Switch.
Oh gosh, so good. Forgotten Land is so good. So I've got when I talked about it in my Kirby in the Forgotten Land review. There's a plant called the Pillsbury plant that's literally like close to where I live, and it is an abandoned. Okay. It's an abandoned bakery basically, and it's got the trees growing through it and all that shit. And so, like, I kind of talked a little bit about that in my review, just because I've got like a Forgotten Land literally in my backyard, like a literal Forgotten Land.
He's gonna shoot coconuts at you.
So like, good stuff. So, alrighty. Do you have any final questions for me?
No, man. We got to do this again. It was fun.
Oh, we absolutely will do this again. I had a blast. So, okay. Well, that said, I've got one last question for you. You didn't quite get to the record, but you did shatter the record for first time person on here. Usually, first times are pretty quick. They're like 2 hours or so, if that. So you shattered it, man. So good job on that. And so my last question for you before we sign off, and then you can stay on with me for a quick denouement at the end here. But one last question for you. All right, Monster. Did you have fun?
Yeah. Like, what if I said no? Can you imagine? I'm just like, no?
Oh, well, if you did, okay. But yeah, it's either way. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and we're going to let everybody go. Love y'all. Have a great night. Get the fuck out of here. Take care.
Guys, thanks for listening to us talk.